All right, hello everyone, and welcome to day
Hello.
one of Advent League.
Heck yeah.
Today, we are your hosts, IcySoapy, my friend
Hello.
Yoshi, say hello,
Hello.
and our third special guest, Raikon, who is currently muted. Poggers, say hello.
Hi.
There we go. Today, we'll bring you the first day of Advent League action. The playoffs are starting today because the LCQ was just, I think, a week or two ago, where Elio
Heck
just
yep.
qualified.
Insane
And
gaming.
yeah, see, we get the fun stuff. We get openings, so nothing's happened, nothing's settled yet. We only get to see people walk up to the stage and start throwing hands. So you got like Void on there, you got Rinto, you got Yoshi too, who's also
Hi.
helping us commentate. Wadek, Dan, KZN, OSW, Elio. A
So
lot of
stacked.
different countries on the board. It is.
It's so cool.
Tell you what, you got two from Brazil, one Germany. I don't know where Wadek is from. Wadek?
Wadek is from everywhere. All that ones.
True. Like 3 US, 1 Germany. That's a really nice list.
Right?
Hiku almost made it in 2, but I think he had to drop out, unfortunately. So we could have had France on there too, and it would have been really sick.
Yeah, it's wild. A lot more expensive than it used to be, like even just 2 years ago. It's insane how much the community has grown.
I don't even remember what it was 2 years ago, 'cause I was barely here. So I think it was like you,
Exactly.
Boy, Dan, and it was like whoever else happened to be around. I think mostly US players
Exactly.
at the time.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
do definitely appreciate seeing how much the community has grown in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes, right? Because like they didn't even get in through qualifier, right? He had to get in through points. Wadek out and Billy both outplaced him.
Yeah,
Which I
exactly.
think
Right.
says a lot about community growth when you think about like, at least from a long time when I was here, or before I guess I joined, was like I always heard, it was Void, it was Yoshi, it was Dan, and like it was everyone else. Like, no one
Yeah.
cared. But now,
Competition is fierce now.
yeah, KZN definitely had a large goal up this season. I think pretty much always like top 4 for the most part. I don't think they ever top 3, but they were pretty much always on the cusp.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that feels like an eternity.
Here, second, potentially a soccer blade, but wouldn't I have auto qualified him on a second? No, never mind. Just kidding. So that's real
KZN
unfortunate.
got real close. Real close.
Yeah, that's actually so unfortunate when you think about it, because like usually, like with who was in the predicted, top 2 should have more than likely got you qualified in, if it was like right, Void, Dan, Yoshi usually, because people weren't sure what top 3 would look like for every event if it was just gonna be the same 3 people. So it kind of
Exactly.
sucks not to qualify on the second, but like yeah, you still made it in, baby.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Anyone y'all gonna be keeping an eye on?
Alio. Just eyeing Alio. I'm like, is he gonna knock everyone? Because this is a really fascinating time where Alio has been rising up so quickly compared to the other players, right? You have people who are already established, like Void, and then Alio comes along. It's like, I want to see what he can pull off.
He has my favorite build patterns because he's a submarine homie. So
Heck yeah.
gotta cheer for Elio. See, I think the other person up there is also OSW. Very, we'll go with mixed opinions. I don't think anyone doubts OSW's skill, but when you put him in a pool that has everyone here, then it's like hard to like, stand out.
Yeah, right. He's really
I
got his
feel
work cut out for him.
he's definitely the dark horse of his pool, which is a tough one, right? It's you, Billy, Anime, Rinto, and Wadek. I feel like those are going to be 3 really tough matchups for
Yes.
OSW.
It's gonna be very interesting. But human Alio, right? Up and coming, and who knows where they're gonna place in the end of this.
I
think
am mainly excited that based on all these lineups that there are not going to is not going to be a single boring match.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
100%. Actually, speaking of matches, you just reminded me of something, Raikon. Thank you. I think both the people like OSW was able to upset in here, or were Void and Dan, are actually in the opposite pool of him. So some of his better head-to-heads actually aren't in his pool, which is really unfortunate. But it also makes it really interesting to see how he interacts with players he hasn't been able to play as much.
Yeah, exactly. He could pull some like new upsets.
Oh, prize pool time. We love money to give to our players. So you should hit that exclamation point Matcherino to give money to potential grand champions like Void, Yoshi, Elio, Dan, all of them. Because I think everyone gets a payout cut.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, so there you go. I think there's quests on that Matcherino page. There's other ways to donate funds if you can't donate directly.
Yeah, just
It goes a
click the
long
button.
way. Go for it, Yoshi. Go for it.
Yeah, you click it. You click the button, and then you get the money. It's real. Or you just like go follow something. It's very simple. It's free money. Take free money.
Yeah. And I know the players will definitely appreciate it because, funds obviously help so players can take time off to compete. So you don't have to worry about stuff like work, if you have to take a day off, It just goes a long way in helping grow the scene.
Absolutely.
And we're going to say a special thank you to PT Latam, English Puyo Puyo community, BioN, Perfect Clear, Puzzle Kingdom, or Puzzle Kingdom, well, Puzzle Kingdom 2, but Puzzle Wednesday, there we go, and Galactic, all for supporting Advent League and helping out, run events, right? Latam, English Puyo Puyo, BioN especially, and Puzzle Wednesday for all running, like, congruent events, or not congruent, consistently running events.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these people wouldn't have been able to qualify if it weren't for like all of the partnership between these communities to get all of this, all these events happening. It's really exciting seeing everyone come together for this.
Yeah, dude, it's really appreciated because PuyoTet World obviously can't run everything. Not everyone can run everything. So it really meant a lot that these communities could come together. Even Perfect Clear Galactic running qualifiers to give some breathing space for the Advent League staff. So it's greatly appreciated. And I do hope to see all these communities return and continue, even with, the ending coming up for this first Advent League. So that way we can keep having events, keep doing the fun stuff. Oh, yes. My favorite slide's coming up.
Oh my gosh.
It's us. Damn, look at who is that trio?
Oh my gosh, it's a scaly trio. Real.
Also
Are you not even-
Smiley.
Wait, are you not even using your new profile pic, Yoshi? What is this?
I think these are our Twitter ones. It's fine. Wait,
SMH my horns.
Shake my
Anyway.
hand, Yoshi. Shake my
we're all smiling. That's all that matters. We're all happy.
Alright, well, let's do some predictions. Let's start with Yoshi's pool, because that's not the one we'll be doing today. Yoshi, who do you think is going to get out of your pool?
See, I think it's less of a who do I think and more of who would I want to. I would love to see OSW go to Grand Finals. It'd be just like, I don't know. I want to root for OSW. The W in OSW stands for win, right?
Yes, true. But man, you're too nice. I keep trying to bait you into saying yourself, and you just will not take it.
Look, if I get in, then I get in. But like, look, you gotta hope for other people. That's
Fair. Alright, Raikon. Any predictions on Yoshi's pool featuring Yoshi, Wadek, OSW, and Billy Anime?
I don't know if I have anything that's gonna sound like surprising. Scaly bias aside, I do think Yoshi is the top to win just with the consistency in gameplay. I think the closest challenger, though, at least from what I've seen recently, would be Rinto, though. I think they've been having a pretty good showing as well, so I'm excited to see that match specifically.
That's fair. I would agree, because I'm also a Yoshi stan right now. I think Yoshi's going to get out. My second bet is actually Wadek, because of their recent history, where Wadek beat Billy to qualify in what I remember. But also, Wadek plays a very interesting style that no one else really does. And I feel like unfamiliarity carries you pretty far in Western Puyo right now, because everyone's just now starting to branch out into different forms, right? Like Sullen was a thing that's still technically recent when you think about it, the history of Western Puyo.
That's
Puyo. So even though like it's been around since the start of the season, like it's still only been this season. You have Submarine coming out, more people are building Thrawn, more people are building Slug. So, and what that just builds a form that no one else has practiced yet. So I think it makes it hard to read for a lot of players.
Yeah, no, for sure. When you're throwing in mix-ups like that, then everyone gets confused. Even the commentators do.
Wait a second. You said OSW, but I see a Billy anime right there,
See,
Yoshi.
the other thing that I want to say is the fact that it would be really interesting to see those two go up against each other. This is like a long time classic, right? You see this at like the end of every tournament when I'm not around, and Dan gets knocked out early, and I get knocked out with Dan early, and it's like really sad, and we cry about it together. And then you see these two fight, and then we're happy. So
I think you're
Hey.
trying to wiggle around. I think you're playing too many favorites over here, Yoshi.
look, if I love everyone, then I don't think that's a problem, is it?
It's not.
Can we just give all 8 players first place?
True.
True.
When you go to Brazil, so Void's already halfway there.
Well then, that makes it easy.
Sorry, I'm stealing copy pasta from the chat.
Alright.
Alright, hey, for first
Hello.
match, it's me
Hello.
and Yoshi. Oh, there's a new
Hi.
picture. That's Pong.
Yeah, you can just
Stare into your
my
eyes.
Well,
See,
then-
I am. Look at my profile.
Yo.
Yeah.
We had the same thought. I love it. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. I'm really hyped. Are you hyped?
Same. I'm so
You
hyped. I'm so glad we get to open the
I know.
first match. Like
Right.
back when Dead Rising Puyo was still a thing, we got to open first time there too. And like,
Oh my gosh.
we
It all
always
comes
get to
full
start off
circle.
strong. Exactly. We're
Man,
just the best in the business.
apparently.
We
You
get
get
a
hired for nothing.
And we get a pretty good one to start off with too, which is Dan versus KZN.
Oh man, yeah. These guys have been playing so strong lately. I've been like struggling against them myself, so to see them head to head it's refreshing for a change that I don't have to be in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah. It's a hard pull, right? Because when you think about it, Dan has either beat everyone, like he's had those pop offs against Void, but he also just randomly can lose to someone. And that's
Yeah, right.
terrifying.
Exactly.
I think there is a world where we could have a 3-way tie. Where, like, let's say Dan beats Void, but Dan will just lose a set to someone. And then KZN or, like, Elio just needs to win one, right? And you have, like, a triple-way
true.
tie get out.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that's going to come out real strong here is the fact that I think Dan's really good at long sets, right? And because of this format being faster 10s, he gets a lot of player data, and so he can make his attacks a bit more adaptable, I think. So maybe he'll come out on top anyway, just because of the way that the sets are laid out. Could be interesting.
I think it's interesting too, because I know KZN entered a little bit of the Hishu League, but I don't think he could do it consistently. Whereas Dan
Yeah.
keeps entering, right? Dan just literally played a set before this, actually.
He's playing so many against like so many Japanese players. He's getting real strong.
Okay, so potential concern though is that he did kind of get smashed in his other set for the Hishu League, right? Literally right before this. So we have to hope he's not tilted. No tilt, please.
Yes, just keep
Ooh.
up that good morale.
Look at that
All right.
overlay though. Oh my god.
Man,
That's
I
so
love
nice.
this. It's so
Oh,
clean.
that's
This
so
is
hype. That's so
beautiful.
sweet.
All right, off we go. What do they got?
The GTR Classics. No Hellfire opening from Dan this time.
Wrestling Classic. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if he's going just for a safer playstyle now. Or again, gathering player data, right? Playing safely before he like pops off the crazy stuff.
He has a really strong tail though. Yeah, this is gonna be
Nice little
kind
plays.
of tough for K. Oh wait, that double might be
That column
issue
one
because I
is really
blew.
good. Yeah, exactly, right? Okay.
Force the poke, but now has to build like GTR on top of the blues. He has to get an extra red up there, so that way he can link another blue.
He's really just
Okay,
ripping
there
Dan
you
at the moment though.
Yeah. The issue is like, look at how like that extends. It doesn't make it easy to build left to right anymore.
Oh man, that's too much of a commit from Dan, I think.
It should be okay because KZN still has to build like he has to build the rest of his chain. There's a chance. Oh, it's right there. Oh,
Oh my gosh, Dan.
he hesitated for the double. Oh my god. But why?
Casey with the 11 chain though, I think this is gonna be quite enough.
Yeah. That hesitation might have been too much.
10. Really close. But yeah, I think that commitment that he made earlier in the match was just too much.
I felt like actually wasn't that bad, right? He had forced a 10, but he freezed on the double yellows. I feel like he may have been able to rush a little bit more.
Maybe. Then again, it would have given Casey a bit more time to get a second chain off too, so
That's fair.
you never really know.
And I feel like you just gotta at least avoid the hesitation. I think that was my main takeaway from that then.
It's always
Right.
difficult when you're under this much pressure and you don't know whether your chain's gonna beat the opponents or not.
Okay, so there you go. That's a good commit because there's only a 3
Right?
chain.
This is a lot better now. I think he's in a good position to outchain. Casey's chaining here is really efficient.
And this is not the nicest queue for Dan. or that trigger extension.
That tail looks kind of spicy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a giant power. It's gonna cut early too, so KZ needs to be
Yo.
quick.
That is amazing. KZN get that second chain off though. Look at that. On 3 stairs into the 3-1 stairs. It's crazy.
That's not gonna be enough. You really need that 6 if you want to trade back, because now Dan didn't have to send any resources in response.
Yeah, huge resource advantage.
No, that's probably just gonna be death.
Ah, that's his game.
Yeah.
Why don't to start?
Hey, this is it. I feel like the KZM right now, you really want the first set win. So, because I think it goes back to what you said. Dan is experiencing these longer sets, so the longer it goes, I feel like the more advantage Dan will have.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. He's playing very safe at the moment, though. Very interesting to see.
Maybe trying to feel some strategy, you know, see what happens.
Oh, KZN looking to attack with that one chain? That's strange.
Man, not Dan. Not actually gonna force anything out of Dan, which I think is good.
Oh, there comes a 3 chain. 4 chain. Oh, 4 double from Dan. Oh, he was so ready. Oh,
Yeah, I
KZN
feel like I think KZ has trouble with these longer chain attacks though that Dan can throw out. But Dan can't give that good of an extension going. He's got the fix, but there's no reds.
The reds, man. The drought that hurts. Yikes.
That felt so bad because Dan's chain I felt like was definitely longer from what
Yeah,
I could read.
Oh, here comes the Orca Star, the first one. So early. So young.
Yes. Okay, I like that they're both going for column 3 right now instead of the classic just build regular and hope they don't notice.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, Dan I think
doesn't have the
wants
yellow
it.
though.
Yeah, that's still fine though, because he actually extend his left to right now because of the trash is not that strong.
That's okay. KZ to follow it up a bit soon.
And it's because KTS trained and like really wrap under very well, so he can't really use his right side.
Oh, if he had the blue, that would have worked perfectly.
Yeah. I feel like this is a common error though for Western players in general, is when they build their counter chain, they don't have a way to transition it into a full chain.
Yes,
like how
exactly.
some people on counter chains in the Japan Yisha League will build like submarine kind of style.
Exactly.
Because it'll go back to the right side, right? But like no one really does that in the West, and it makes you super vulnerable.
The
Like,
Dan
that's gonna
classic.
be bad.
Yeah, KZ was not getting all those pieces. That is a really good time to do that. But yeah, no, for sure. It's something that like the Western players haven't really grappled with is you know, submarine such a strong form for being able to use counter builds and be able to make a main chain out of it. Oh, here's come. Alright. Here comes another.
Oh, here we go. See, redemption arc. We'll see.
Let's have a
I will say, if you want to avoid Dan Hellfire Rush, the first thing you should do, completely, just immediately look at Dan's side of the board, because you'll always build like close to 2 pillars before he does it.
Yes.
And if you see 2 pillars, you can just like, you don't have to do double extension. You can just build normal, because the Hellfire Strikes from Dan have a huge power and efficiency towards the mid game.
No, exactly right. Ooh, interesting chain.
Yeah.
KZ's chain. Oh my gosh. 7 chain though.
And just better on the counters. I think
Yeah.
KZN definitely did it much better this time because he actually did wrap around, but I'm not sure why he popped so early. Maybe not expecting Dan to have that much built up.
Yeah, I think when you see that like a player has such restricted space, you don't think that they can make a 7 chain out of it, and then suddenly they do, and you go, "Wow, okay."
You
It's a
cry.
rough position to be in.
Dan, no, please. It's okay.
Then with
It's
the right
not
to
the
left.
worst. It feels a little awkward though, but it should be fine.
KZN's got no
Oh!
defensive options. Yeah, that's a good
Dan's
move there.
roasted.
You recognize the position very well.
Man, this is gonna be difficult for KZN if he doesn't keep some level of defense. But the issue is like the way KZN extends, he doesn't make use of a lot of L shapes. He does like a bunch of individual links, so stuff that can't like multi-link.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
It's gonna be rough if that's gonna continue to be the case. Oh, awkward.
The mirror for a while. That was fun.
I know Dan wasn't gonna do it because like heroes aren't as strong anymore in the meta, but I always like it seeing someone rush for it. I just think it's funny.
Ooh, good response from KZN. Dan doesn't get the pulse in time. Yikes.
Yeah, but it's gonna at least let him clear down, and he will have access. Oh wow, that actually might just keep him alive.
Oh my gosh. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Oh, one short.
Ah, so close. That's all he could really do.
That red cut for KZN was like so neat because not in the sense that like he needed that one link, or like Dan would have lived, it would have so many more resources.
Right.
God, that's terrifying. Those situations scare me because you're like, it makes you almost second guess, like, should I have done this?
Yeah, and that's the sort of mental state you want to like throw your opponent off into. With KZN responding in such a like confident way, it could be difficult for Dan to like pop off stuff without like feeling as though he has to check KZN's board first. You can't do it as blindly.
Yeah. Although Dan's chain is kind of awkward spot with those greens. It's a little tricky to extend off that. Oh no!
Why didn't KZN use his 3-chain? He had a green to... Oh.
I
Interesting.
think
Did you enjoy my
KZN's just too
technique?
defensive. I think he's similar to be in that sense where like we don't use resources because we don't want to use them because you don't want to get outchained. But if you don't use your resources to defend, then you get outchained anyways because you know you're covered.
Exactly.
Oh wow, this tail from KZN is a very different take.
I like it.
It's gonna be good because like it
It's like Dan's
reverses.
attacks. Oh man.
Get the call one, yeah, there you go. Oh wait, it's gonna be too much. Oh, he needs a lot of
Actually,
blues
that
now
works
to
out
fix
really
this.
well. Dan wasn't ready for that much.
Oh, dude.
It's very
Okay, that's-
sneaky from KZN.
There you go. That's good stuff. I thought for a second that blue cut was gonna be too much. I thought Dan was gonna get down. But he's trying. He's actually making some pretty good headway right now.
If KZN main chain this soon though, Dan's never going to be able to get that transition done. He needs 3 greens, 1 yellow, 2 more blues, and then another green.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't just dismantle to kill Dan, to be honest.
Right?
Because Dan did not have a lot, but he might actually get down right here. The yellow. Oh wait, no, just kidding. It's not gonna be
Yeah,
down.
he needed so much on the transition space. That's the only problem there.
I feel like there's kind of a. Well, I guess no. KZ probably could solid could not. There's like no way you can outchain him. But I feel like when you over such a you almost make yourself vulnerable to just like a small poke killing you.
Exactly, yeah. You've just got to clear it as soon as possible and get them out of the way. Oh,
Yeah.
Dan's chain. What is this?
Oh, I could have just gone for the 2, 3, maybe. Oh, he's gonna go for it now
There it is.
because he knows the purple's coming.
The yellow's definitely comp. This is going to be rough.
I think it's just something I like that Dan does specifically. Oh, is he down? Oh, he is. Okay, KZN's dig is so good. For anyone who remembers the classic KZN versus Senred, where he just constantly dug down and Senred just could not kill him.
Is he on his way down? Unfortunately, the pieces just aren't coming together.
I think I would do wrong because we just highlighted that like Dan did that I don't think enough players do. Is that he just waited to see like what the queue looked like from KZN's
Yes,
side.
exactly.
Right. So he saw the drought. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go," because he waited there for like 5 seconds, but KZN wasn't looking. So you just gotta wait with like not doing anything. If
Yeah.
KZN saw Dan just sat there for 5 seconds, he probably could have just sent his chain because Dan was gonna be so far behind or something.
Oh, that's a huge commitment. Oh,
Oh,
KZ got
the-
pieces of time.
He did it for again though, which I can respect, but I don't think it's gonna be as fruitful. Oh, there's no good purple.
Too many
Or red.
purples needed.
Yeah. Me too. And it also didn't help that the one of the purples he got he couldn't use because it was gonna cut his chain.
Yeah, exactly. That always sucks.
But this is still good for Dan. He just needs 3 points to take set 1. But I think for KZN, you really want to start running it back for that set point. You
Yeah,
do not want to give it up.
exactly. You're losing time. Oh. KZN
Also,
in a
he
very
does-
strong position. Only has main chain available though, so if Dan forces anything out, then KZN has to respond with main chain.
I almost feel like Dan won't, because like if you know your opponent only has main chain, why force this it off? Right? Because then it's up to them to aggress almost. You can kind of just like build how you want because you know they can't attack you.
That's really interesting though, because it ended up going the other way from what I expected. Oh,
Oh, I
Dan's
cut.
chain. Oh, that gives him another chance.
Yeah. You know, KZN's chain actually is not that crazy
The blues are
big.
gonna carve, the purples don't make carve, so Dan has to set this up now.
Oh,
But
he
he didn't
hesitated.
realize in time. He didn't realize.
You know what's
Oh, man.
that? He could have put the blue on his column 5 and it would have powered at the end of his chain, and then he gets
Oh,
self purples.
man.
I
That's
think they would have traded back.
Yeah, it's just the sort of thing where you like, I think it might have been that he might have seen that cut, but he wanted to make sure before he like committed to it. And I do that all the time, right? You're always checking, you're like, is their chain actually going to cut? And by the time you realize it does cut, it's already done.
I feel like the habit there, it should just be like if you're gonna do that check, always make sure you do the check when you have your active Puyo needs to the chain.
Correct. That's right.
Oh, Gideon's chain's so
Jason's
screwed.
very recommend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh man, Dan was super efficient this game too.
Oh yeah, that's painful. It's only 2-point death though, like, that's not the worst to come back from in a Puyo set.
Yeah.
But it's still rough, man. Because like I said, like, if we assume this set goes how we have predicted, it's gonna be really rough to run back 2 sets.
Yeah, that's basically like having to do with like a bracket reset. You just have that sort of mental where you're like, I'm in danger.
Smile. I'm in danger.
Exactly. Oh, Casey's in trouble again. But his digging skills, let's see.
Oh! Dan's gonna reverse that all the way down.
Ah, the yellow came in time. Nice.
Damn, that is so helpful. Because now Dan's tail's kind of awkward, and it's gonna take a lot. He uses so many yellows.
Red, a purple, yellow, another purple, another purple.
Okay, there they are.
Oh my gosh, he got all of them in time. That's insane.
Wait, okay, no, he's fine, he's fine. Okay.
Yeah. He
I thought
really
there's gonna
cut that.
Ooh. I was gonna get the red too on top of the yellows. It's
Nice.
gonna be so close, it's gonna be enough barely. Why is
Oh,
they extend
man,
like crazy?
Big power there.
Oh, it's not gonna be enough time because of that power.
Yeah, there's no way, unfortunately. Nice 4-chain attempt, but not gonna be enough.
Yeah. Oh man, this first set I feel like is gonna do so much for the next player because man, they're gonna have a set to work with.
Exactly.
But it's almost a bait because you also like don't want to be like, yeah, I have a set. Who cares? You know?
Yeah, right? You don't want to lose your advantage. If you could take it home, then you may as well do it then and there.
Oh yeah. But here we go. You know, 2 to 3 needed for set 1. Man, I'm actually really excited about this FGC rule format. Or more FGC
Right?
rule format. It's so sick. I love this kind of formats.
I think it
You
gives
get-
both players like a real chance to shine.
Yeah, but also kind of one like makes the set feel like not nearly as invariably long.
No, exactly, right?
And you still get adaptation. Oh, look at that red's gonna power. It's gonna link.
That is such a good way to build that tail. I love that.
Oh wait, the purples! Okay, he got side. That's not
Wait a
good.
This is going to be an offset, no, right? Oh
If
man,
there's
that's still really close.
He needed that purple link still, or at least the blues.
That's crazy.
Oh, we're on set point for Dan
Oh
for
man,
set.
is he gonna be able to bring it back?
I want to believe so, for the hope that this does not become like a 2-0 set. Because I do legitimately believe, as the commentator here, that this set first set's still gonna be so telling.
We'll see. Casey's in a pretty good position to like defend at the moment. While Dan is looking a bit more vulnerable, I think.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
very good.
there
It's
it
quick
goes.
Hellfire.
Yeah. Wow, Dan got out of there
Oh!
really quickly. That was insanely
four.
fast. Oh, Casey is not ready.
He has no reds. Oh, he's dead. That's not good.
Dan's conversion game there was just way too fast.
Yeah,
He
it's
went
also
from
just so
0.
awkward. Sorry, let me cut you off.
Oh no, he just like went from 0 to like that. It was like crazy.
Yeah, I think it was just so good awareness on Death's part because the KZN needed to rely on like a double yellow extension, right? It was like purple, yellow, purple,
Yeah.
or yellow, purple, yellow. My bad. And because Dan saw that he had to commit his yellows though on the Hellfire, he now has 2 more links to do with yellows, so he needs at least 6 Puyo's. But they have to be separated into 3, so it's just like, well, the odds of him getting that in like 2 seconds are gonna be pretty low,
Hmm.
which gives him a huge advantage.
Alright, into the second set there, and now KZN has this
Ooh.
1 set deficit to work with, but
It's kind of
maybe
awkward.
that's just more motivation.
Oh man, he just forced himself in a double green extension.
Okay, that looks a
And it's
little
gonna-
cleaner though.
Yeah. It's just fixed the
Okay.
color conflict, but it's gonna be kind of difficult to extend higher now.
Yeah, third floor is looking a little janky. Oh, Dan with a huge attack. That's huge, huge, huge.
Oh god, that might have been too much though. I expected to break off his tail.
Yeah, maybe KZN's okay.
I think he will be. If they now have to extend with the reds, they're not coming. Hey, there it
they
is.
are. Oh, but then red is going to cut if he puts it in column 1, so you have to wait.
Oh my god,
That
he
is a
did purple
yikes
too.
situation.
He did fix it though, which is good.
That's true. Just didn't get his trigger in time.
Yeah, that feels bad. Good 12 though from KZM. Oh, forgot the Hellfire.
There it is, there it is, there it is.
This is the big question. Is he gonna use it? He's debating. KZN's looking. Okay, this is commit. Oh,
And then
KZN!
KZ goes to commit.
No way!
No.
KZN saw. He literally stopped and saw what was gonna happen and still went for the greedy extension. Like Dan still couldn't pop it.
That's so risky.
If you're gonna do that, you have to. I cannot stress so much that you have to wait for him to lock in that piece before you do that extension. That was, I think, it was a huge. If he didn't, KZ could have won that round because Dan was gonna take a while to get that efficiency up, and you can just like poke him because those Hellfire pillars do not break down easily to an harassment.
Exactly.
Oh, damn, that was.
Oh.
I don't mean to like gripe on KZN, but that was a really big mistake.
Absolutely. Here comes next.
I really was. You have to look over, KZ, please.
Well, you don't have any yellows though. You just don't have any yellows, I guess.
Yeah. And I feel like when you see that happen, you see no yellows, you have to just convert your tail into main chain.
Exactly.
That's like your only way of surviving.
Yeah. This dig,
But-
this is looking really promising.
Yeah, right, because the purple ground link, getting red.
Oh,
Oh, no, top.
Wait.
Oh, no. Wait, don't,
No.
please. No.
Dad, you'd have to do it this way.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is rough.
Damn, even if KZ had gotten the Christic Way, just would have died to the next rock. Ouch. Okay, no Hellfire start now, so KZ will be safe for this round. Wait, long GTR?
This is a strange one.
This is an interesting adaptation, because I didn't feel like it was the form that was the issue. It was the extensions like this, right? Where like, it's like, I'm gonna step a triple extend.
He
Before
needs
he-
to get stuff ready. Dan is about to fire.
That one row was
Yeah.
so detrimental.
That red green, the perfect piece for the 14.
Oh,
that's
Dan?
nice of you.
Take... Okay, that's not terrible. Only 2 trash.
Wow, that was a really nice exchange there. Oh, where's for me?
No, KZN, why?
No, that was too early.
Yeah. I think KZN's getting a little nervous.
Oh man.
So it's kind of like, that's like 3 rounds in a row where like, I felt like the round was lost solely because KZN just didn't look.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to close this gap real quick, otherwise the nubs are just going to become overwhelming.
I almost feel we should use like 1 round as like a breeding round. You don't have to win the round, just take it like to settle and think about like what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like KZN, like maybe he would have still lost those rounds. I don't think he should have lost them that way, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Right. This is looking real safe and real clean. I like this
Oh,
one.
Yeah, see, that's what you can see. Dude. It's gonna be a little hard to link this chain, but it's gonna be a good attack. Good for
Nice. Forcing Dan to main chain doesn't get the red extend. Now it's just a matter of him getting his extensions done in time. He's hesitating.
Oh, it's there though. It's done. He can just go.
Oh,
Oh!
Purple gets it. Nice. Manages to
Wait.
He's really...
Okay, the green should be fine. Okay, thank God.
There it is. There it
This
is.
is gonna be so hard to come back from for Dan.
Oh man, Dan. Do you have what it takes? I don't think so. He's not getting these pieces. Where's the red? Oh,
Oh,
13,
maybe. It's a star, but the
5,
greens aren't gonna link.
6, 7.
Oh, he needed that green link.
That was so close.
Damn, that was actually insane. Sorry.
Nah, oh good, oh good, oh good.
I'm also feeling the hype. Dan's actually still alive there. Oh my god. But how? Wait, is that gonna work?
No, I think they're both in the equal position. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, it's good. This is real good. Oh, you get to the purples too, because the double purple's coming up, and he's down. I thought you could use it.
Wow,
My
he's really
God.
going for those extends.
I respect it. I mean, I think a lot of players like this would feel like this round's kind of lost. Wait,
He's
yes,
fine, he's fine.
but like
Oh,
Dan
the
doesn't
yellow
give
card
up.
there. Damn.
No. But
I think
I
he
think
might have
that's-
had infected card.
I think so too. I will say this is still a good round though for Dan because it takes off stamina from KZN to force him to like have to kill you.
That's true, that's true. Although, closing that gap now, maybe KZN has the potential to get a comeback going.
I think so because the gap wasn't too big. It was only like what 2 rounds. So he still won the first one, but it was like some flip ups.
Uh-oh.
This okay. Now this is
Uh-oh.
just Dan.
Okay. Okay,
This
that's
is
good.
mean. This is mean. He gets waiting. Oh, it doesn't land there. This is so bad
Safe.
for Dan.
Yeah, his how okay. I don't see this position, his angle at all.
He's trying to extend out the purples over there, but he's not getting colors he needs on his like right side.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There's no way Dan gets out of this, right? Surely not.
It's gonna be really hard. This is one of those. This reminds me of the conversation I had with S2, where he felt like Dan should. Oh, he can't get up there. He's just dead.
He did
Like,
rotational, no.
Like I don't remember the form name, but there's like forms in the Hisha League and some of the Asian tournaments where like they build reversible Hellfire chains, so that way like if you want to do a Hellfire opening, you can still do it, but it transitions into a much more efficient form.
Right.
I just don't remember the term for it, and I'm kind of annoyed that I can't remember right now. And I remember ST was mentioned, it's like, man, how come Dan doesn't learn these forms? Because like you saw how he lost so much space and like room to build when he went for that like extremely greedy but extremely powerful Hellfire, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I just feel like if you do Dan wonders if you could just find a way, or like go find some VODs, you know, with those extensions. I was gonna do another nice double.
spot, no bubbles.
Yeah, but look at this.
Wait a minute.
This is fine.
Oh,
Oh wait, what is Dan's build? Yeah, okay,
it's a
this
pretty
one.
good one.
Yeah, this should be traded back. Because the reds are gonna link at the end too.
Yeah, this is a really strong chain. 11 is huge.
Okay, there you go. Actually, okay, I just thought about it, because I'm thinking now. We're thinking, my brain is churning.
Oh,
I know, what's it, reversible Front Hellfire is really popular.
Yes, for sure. It's a very fun one to pop.
It's fun, and it also goes, like, you can also just drop that Hellfire and build a pretty quick chain, like, efficient chain off of it, too.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, maybe, you know, maybe something for Dan to, like, please build Front someone, please, you know, I'm so upset.
So many greens here. I think they're trying to figure out what to do with them.
I think Dan's works so much nicer, though, because they're gonna link down towards the bottom.
Oh, he got the perfect garbage to like set up his chain straight away. But
You love to see it.
what is Casey gonna do?
I think
Yeah,
Kronka's, man, this is so awkward.
Yeah.
It's only an 8, actually. Like, but still, but still, like, 34k is not a lot.
Chain does nothing though. The tail, unfortunately, doesn't link up at all.
Oh, yeah, ouch.
Yikes.
No!
Did you enjoy
Yeah,
my
damn,
technique?
Mealy bringing back that 2-point lead, though. He's like, I don't think so. Not today there, KZ.
Yeah, right?
I feel like for Dan, this would be like one of the ways to break out of the always third position he's in.
That's so true.
If
If he makes it out of the pools, then he'll just become first or second. It won't be third
Yeah.
anymore. It'll be
So
free.
true, bestie. So true. But yeah, like I feel like this could be a very big moment for Dan, like because obviously you have to beat like Void, and the first step to getting to out of this pool right is to beat KZN.
Enjoy my technique?
Exactly.
And if you can get out of the pool and even win Ameling, right, I don't think people would start being like, oh, Dan, he's just the number 3 guy. It'd be like, oh, Dan is actually like he's in contention for, you know, a number 1 guy.
Exactly, number 1 guy. That's exactly what I thought. Oh, here it comes. Double blues, double blues.
Oh, this
Casey
is
is not taking the risky. Okay.
Oh, he's taking a risk. Oh
I
my
say
god.
that.
What?
I bet you.
Please, bro.
He
Oh,
gets his
got
perfect
the-
misses, though.
Okay, it finally worked out. Let's go, baby. Dan already has such a good extend, though. He just sees some yellows. He's not getting them.
Those are the purples.
The purples instead.
Nice.
Oh, we got it.
Oh, this is pretty clean, but Casey and I think just had too many more resources.
Yeah, well, that was like 2 more links needed at like minimum to like even.
Yeah, exactly.
This big victory.
Alright, so don't worry, like 5th time's the charm, but we got there.
Eventually.
It makes sense, right? Like, I get the idea of the extensions, right? Because you saw how much he just out-efficient. I just wish he didn't give me a heart attack every time he went for it.
Exactly, right? He chooses such like scary times to go for the extensions. I'm like, no, just wait a little longer.
He chooses violence.
Wakes up at like 3 p.m. and chooses violence.
God bless Kezia. Oh wait, the yellows are there. Oh, you love to see it. That's a skill diff right there.
Oh,
Oh, he dealt
Physical
purples
distribution
though.
from KZM. Good one. Oh, this is the good
Wow.
one from Dan there.
Yeah. Dan having... Oh, the blue's actually gonna link it towards the end instead of at the start of the trigger. So you... The big brain, small to the tail.
Ah.
This is a
Yeah,
good set
fine.
too. The gap is a little bit bigger though, 7-4. Dan 3 points and he gets the set win and starts his Avon League's, what's it called? Circuit playoff bracket strong.
Yeah.
And also, because like, these are 4 people pools, right?
Yeah.
And speaking about math, I'm sure you already pick up what I'm putting down, Yoshi, as math god. Losing your first set is extremely detrimental in this kind of format with 4 people.
Exactly.
Because if I think about the math correctly, good attack from KZN, but Dan was ready. He would have to rely on a tiebreaker at that point, or like a
That's
crazy
correct.
scenario where everyone loses once, but he like wins twice, right?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
That's a hard scenario to get, because then you're at the what's it called? You're pretty much just rely on your opponent at that point to like upset.
To mess up, yeah, exactly. 4-person pools are really rough like that. Like 5-person pools, you can mess up once and you'll be like okay, but yeah, 4-person, you mess up once. If your opponent is just like good enough to beat the other 2, then you're out. There's no chance.
Yeah, so KZ is gonna really want to push it out. He does not want to leave his fate in the hands of Void Elia, right? Oh my god, that tail though.
That bubble was so close to getting there. KZN almost had a response.
Yeah. Come on, we need that EU representation, KZN. Show him what you got.
Come on.
Go
What
to
is this?
Germany. Points right.
Oh no.
Oh, he's waiting. Dan knows he's ready, so he's gonna give up.
Okay. Good job,
Smart from
KZN.
Dan. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, there you go. Dan, no, you
Ooh,
can have
that's
much
awkward.
damage. Oh wait,
Column
the tail in it.
6. He needs like a way to get that red there.
I wonder if you just clear the blues and just like, because there are so many, and just like try to rebuild the tail
There it
differently.
is. Oh my gosh, KZN with a huge commitment here.
I'm not a big fan of Dan's.
He didn't realize. No way. KZN
I think
actually worked.
He was just so focused on how to make that blue work, because even with the blue-yellow, it would cut his tail.
Yeah.
It's just hard. I guess like when you're in those kind of positions, because you can't panic, but it's also really easy to panic. Oh my god, just sullen. Wait a second.
It's a very strange way to build it, but I think it is. It technically qualifies as a
I mean, that's the Dan special, right? He builds how he wants,
Exactly.
and no one can tell him otherwise. He's a blue though, I think. to
That's
finish
really
the chain.
unsafe. Oh dear.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
goodbye.
He's lost. That was so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and then the yellow conflict.
Yeah. That is.
Oh, that's
There's
a
no way.
little Papega.
Wait, he found a way to use the purples though. That's really clever. Wait, what is he?
That's the-
Oh, I see what he was going for. He was going blue, green, blue, then purple. That's crazy.
It was so close. It was unfortunate that it's still a 2-round lead for deficit for KZN. So he's
Yeah.
still got some work to do. And he's have to win another set if he makes this one work.
Yeah, he's picking up the momentum though. Let's see if he can keep it rolling.
I really like that people are doing this double L on the GTR, but
yeah,
people,
it's so
but like, sorry, but when you have to force like the third one on your extension of the GTR, it's a lot better to, from what I understand, to do flat tails if you want to do double L, because it avoids conflictism. It deals with
Yes.
conflict. So like you see like
Yes,
KZN's tails like powers a lot, and he has to be careful now because there's so many reds. So now he's forced to extend, which isn't the worst. But you're also like, man,
Where's the red?
you can't,
Where's the
you can't
red?
use the yellows.
Where's the red? Where's the
You're gonna-
red?
You
my
can't do it. He had to extend off of that because of the way he put those yellows,
Exactly.
which put him
That's
in
such a
that
shame.
position to begin with.
Oh man, Dan is on the point to win this.
I feel like KZN is usually extremely efficient, but it feels like today, I don't know, maybe it's the nerves. There's some
Could very well be.
questionable build decisions. Oh, there's a good potential Hellfire setup. Oh, I thought you were gonna try to fight for blues.
Uh oh.
Fuck, great. Yeah, it's not worth terrible though, because he had the trash build around. But KZ just can't find a strong hit.
Oh no!
Oh, he hesitated!
Golem.
Oh, that's on game point 2. Oh, you don't like to see it end like that.
Oh man.
That's even worse. They didn't get a set because you just get one set, right? You get some points on top, and you get a win-loss for that tiebreaker. But that means KZN is gonna have to beat Void and Elio.
That's
Hope Dane
tough.
only wins one more set, and someone else needs to tie for him to get out of pools, I think.
Yeah.
And like
exactly.
it depending depending on how it plays out, like not everyone just trade wins like crazy. That is like a really tough one to ask for.
Whoa.
He's actually, but point difference wise, he's only -2. That is still pretty
Right?
good.
That's quite nice.
It's,
I think.
want that set down.
Right? It's just, I think it's difficult because I think Dan was just playing really cleanly during that set. He didn't really drop any like rounds by accident. I think what happened with KZ and why he became inefficient is because he was trying to match Dan's attacks so that he wasn't forced to main chain so early. But because of that, I think it's a style he's not so familiar with, and so Dan really forced out like awkward decisions all the time, right?
I agree. I agree because Kian like his claim to fame back during Rising Puyo, I think it was 1 or 2 when he beat pillars like Center Red. It was like he was extremely good at defensive play and digging.
Exactly.
But nowadays players have gotten a lot more aggressive, right? Just from like playing overseas players and other circumstances practicing. Yeah, you can no longer just be the defense guy. You have to, start being aggro, and when you have to stop playing to your main strength, you're gonna end up in those awkward positions.
Yeah, for sure. Still, really strong performance for both players there.
Oh, but you have Dan again, right, for Elio? That's gonna be a good one. And why KDS pictures there, but not Witch feels bad, man. Witch, no. But I think if you're Elio and you see KZN lost to Dan, I think Elio KZN is gonna be an extremely important set. But if Elio can beat Dan, it also helps up KZN to get back into a chance to get out. But if Elio beats Dan, it also makes him really likely to get out.
Yeah, because then he has to mess up after that.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask. Yo, yo, yo.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't feel I need to shout out. I'm just glad to help support such an amazing event. As someone who just learned how to use Matrino, though, is very simple. It took me about 30 seconds to sign up, another 30 seconds to donate, and it looks like there's a lot of ways of adding little bits to the pot as well, even if you don't have your own cash flow. So highly recommend at least checking out the page, give it a look over, see if there's anything you can do to help support this event.
Yeah, I'll just hop on a little bit. What's up, everyone? I'm running the stream. I just want to say a huge shout out to everyone who's donated to this tournament so far. It's been a thing for about 6 months now. I think it's almost been nearly 6 months since we announced this. So it's definitely been like running for quite a long time. I just want to thank everyone who's came out, has played in any of the events ran by either ourselves or our partner communities. And of course, everyone who's contributed to this so far. We had Raikon and Phenotype both just dropping huge donations. Raikon dropping 100, Phenotype dropping a classy 69.69. So huge shout outs. All of that's going directly to all 8 players who have went through past premier events in the ranking season. So all of them are getting a share. Also, if you guys have seen like our PK merchandise, you can buy jerseys or shirts on the store. So you can check that out. And yeah, this is all I wanted to say right now. Thanks everyone for supporting this event. And there's more to come. And also, I've seen recently on Twitter, we've had like a lot of people from the Japanese community starting to spread the word. So thanks to all of you guys if you're in chat. Getting the word out of these Puyo events that we're running here in the West, trying to get a more like international audience throughout LATAM, Europe, the US, all of that into Puyo stuff. Just thank you all for coming in and supporting. But yeah, I'll leave it back up to our commentators. We'll give a quick shout out to our partner communities again, and then we'll hop into the next match and start coverage.
Yes, I'll leave it to Raikon and Yoshi. Have fun with that match.
Heck yeah.
Banging.
So, once
Thank you
again,
so much,
shout
Icy.
outs to all of the partnering communities for allowing this to become possible in the first place. How are you feeling, Raikon?
I'm feeling great. That was a very fun match to watch. I enjoyed listening to both of you. I'm very excited for the next match coming soon.
Yes, indeed. Dan and Elio. Very interesting for sure, I think. Once again, it's sort of the established name versus the person who's like up and coming, so I don't know. Elio's playstyle is very aggressive though, so I think he'd be able to be someone who can actually keep up with Dan quite well. I'm not sure how well he plays against early aggressions or Dan's style of like firing stuff off early, but he's gonna have to play safe. I think that's the big thing with Dan. If you're fighting him, you're gonna have to stay safe and make sure that you have an opportunity to get to main chain as soon as possible. We'll see.
Yeah, I think a big thing I'm interested to see, and this is going to be very unrelated to the Puyo portion, is the fact that Den is playing immediately after his last set, and he did win that set. So he's riding off of the momentum going into this. But Elio got a chance not only to rest before this first match, but also get to see Dan's playstyle for a little while. So it'll be interesting to see if Dan can ride the momentum out or if he's already been downloaded before the set's even started.
Yeah, absolutely. Good thoughts.
Yeah, in general, though, Dan tends to be very flexible between switching on big attacks and just focusing on main chain. So Elio's going to have to be able to adapt to whichever playstyle Dan's looking for in each single round.
Absolutely.
All right. And there's that card.
Off we go. Oh my gosh. US versus Brazil. This is really something that I like. I'm always so used to seeing, like, say, Dan and Void. And I'm mainly repping Brazil as well. Really excited to see players from Brazil come up. I know Void's been raising a whole community himself, so it's really cool to see who's finally here to show for his work.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to see small communities and they get their own little play styles and improve their skills, and then being able to branch out and bigger events like this to see how good those play styles are working and adapt even further. And with that, it looks like we're about to get started.
Here's the picks. Dan with Rulo as usual and Elio with which. There it is.
Yeah, unsurprising character choices.
Stick with who you know, I suppose.
All right, we're getting started. Both players focusing on GTR to start. Usually a good option on the first round is to just stick with your comfort zone, something that feels safe and clean.
Yeah.
Nothing too different from either player. First attacks from Dan, just sending a single line. Elio's got a lot to work with still, though. Probably can see. Oh!
Did you enjoy my technique?
Jeez.
They had the attack ready, but I guess they were just rushing it a little too much. That's fine. That's a single point at a 10-point match. You can't let that affect you too much.
Yeah. So it's easy to get overwhelmed by those sorts of things, I suppose, as well. A lot of thoughts running through your head. Why did I do that?
Yeah. All right. Second game looking very similar to the first so far. Dan, the tiniest poke, just a couple nuisance, but the follow-up through 4-chain.
Oh my gosh.
No way for Elio to connect to main chain there with that yellow jaw, unfortunately. So second point goes to Dan as well. All right, will we see a change in either player's game style, or are they going to kind of stick with the same? Looks like they're mainly sticking with the same to start. It is still quite early, so no reason to change anything too much here. Yeah. Both chains looking pretty clean. Still no big signs of attack, but I see one pretty soon. There's a 2 from Elio.
Dan committing a lot here. Those yellows are going to cut into his chain, and then... Wait, does that trigger the rest of his chain too? Oh gosh.
Still an 8 from Dan. This is going to be a big tail, but I don't know if it's going to be enough because of how much it's cutting.
Ooh, hardly a fall.
Right. I think Elio was trying to prepare a little too much for the attacks there. That's what all the stuff on the right side was, and Dan said, no, I'm just going to main chain instead this time.
Yeah, he really dismantled everything for that.
Alright, still no differences going into this fourth point. Sticking with nice, clean builds. No signs of attack just yet, but we've seen Dan usually attack around this point. There's the first one, just a single line.
Classic one chain, yeah.
Alright, good block by Elio. Making sure there's not too much disruption. Following up with a 3-chain. Dan deciding to just main chain in response.
Right. Elio doesn't have much time here. He's hesitating quite a lot though.
Yeah. I think a big difference I'm seeing is that both players are good at attacking and defending, but Dan's being a little better at attacking while also keeping the main chain clean, whereas Elio's been making a bit more sacrifices when trying to defend properly.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because of the initiative that he's had with like attacking fast. Because his one chains are very clean and keeps his chain clean. It means he doesn't need to worry about defending for a little while as well. While you're sending that one chain, your opponent's busy trying to defend against it, and you don't really have to worry about anything.
Exactly. 2-chain from Dan, cleanly blocked by Elio, but Dan sends another 2-chain saying that Elio doesn't have anything other than main chain. Elio deciding to just take it a bit, knowing that if he main chains, he'd probably just get countered. Ooh, clean 3-chain timing from Dan.
Did you enjoy
Really
my
nice
technique?
follow-up there.
Yeah, I feel like Elio is reading them enough to defend. It's just the use of resources. It's a little too much committed to main chain and not enough committed to defending, but it's a very hard balance, and Dan's just punishing the choices very well here. 2-chain from Dan. Nice 2-double from Elio. That was a really good defense there. Actually countering with 2 lines.
Yikes. Didn't have a follow-up just yet though. That's a little rough.
Yeah, has the space advantage and getting a very clean main chain. I think Elio's just looking for the full extension, which they choose to set off. They got, I believe, a 10-chain there. Dan has a decent amount of time to counter, though.
Doesn't really have an extension opportunity though. That third column divot is a little difficult to work with.
Very true. I think we've only got an 8 here, unless the tail powers it. Oh, it's even a 7 because of how much it powered. All right. That first point for Elio is pretty huge. It's always good to get that feeling of, hey, I can take points.
Yeah, on the board, no sweepies.
All right, into point 7. Oh, Dan's finally changing up form a bit.
Oh, right to left. Classic.
Yeah. So maybe thinking a little bit about an early attack. Now that Elio's shown the ability to attack back and send off main chains, Dan might be thinking about some earlier attacks, but Elio's the one doing the early attacks this time.
Yeah, he became the aggressor. Oh my gosh, this is a huge dismantle. Misdrop from Helio, I think. He was meant for the green in column 3.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a big commitment from Dan, mostly breaking up the main chain with that attack, but Elio just didn't have a good way to respond at that time.
What is Dan's?
This is the Hellfire.
It's
There's no way this is not an early attack. Oh,
hesitation.
See, this is it.
Huh?
Oh, Elio blocks a little bit there. So can I command the main chain?
There it is. Yeah.
This is a workable chain from Dan, though.
Ooh,
I don't-
yellow inside.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that was, I believe, a 7-chain from Dan. They actually had the counter if they could find the trigger.
Super impressive that he was able to convert in that little amount of time.
Alright. Both players just focusing on clean main chain this round. Looks like Elio might go for the first attack. There's the 2-double. Dan is forced to just main chain with a 5-double.
A lot of power
There's-
comes out real fast.
Yeah, it's a big 4-chain, but not enough to counter. Still takes 3 lines. I assume a quick follow-up from Dan. There it is. Ooh, good 4-chain from Elio to catch up to that. I think there's still going to be a little damage here, though. About 2 lines, and Dan
Dan.
not letting up the aggression.
Indeed.
What happened? Did you enjoy my technique?
Yeah, it's just that the amount of momentum Dan's carrying right now, the attacks are following through, main chaining just at the right time. I do feel Elio's going to have to chain. Elio goes for the first attack. Dan only has the 1-chain here. Going to take the 2 lines. They have a bit of space to clear at least. Good
Damage
2-double from Dan
huge.
to clear.
Whoa.
4-chain from Elio. Does counter. Does Dan get the green? He does.
Gets it right in time.
Looking at a 6 after the 5 double. Oh no, it's a
Huge
5
five,
triple
actually.
even.
Whoa, that is massive.
What happened? Did you enjoy my technique?
Halo was so close there, but then just made sure to tank well enough to be able to clear off the first hit.
Is this an AC? Oh, there it is. Wait, it
Didn't
didn't take
catch-
it. Oh no.
Oh. Good choice from Elio to leave the yellows open. Can you get one before the attack? There it is. Gets a 5
Nice.
chain.
It's really strong here.
Dan not getting enough pieces to extend more, just has to go with the 3 chain. Still takes over a rock despite getting the all clear. Another attack from Elio. There's a 5 chain. It's going to be very hard for Dan to catch up on that.
Too much of his face disadvantage.
Yeah,
What the attempt though?
quite a good attempt. Yeah, a big thing at higher level Puyo is definitely catching how much space your opponent has. If you think they can only fit a 4 chain there, all you need is 1 link above a 4 chain.
Exactly.
So very good read from Elio there. Catching up a little bit, 3 to 8. A bit of a distance, but not anything that can't be caught up on. Both players focusing on main chain this round as well. Interesting Puyo on column 1 for Dan. This could be a little hard to catch up. Does have the reds filling that in finally.
Oh, here comes the 3. And he forced the mage,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, there it is. That's an 8. The 2 garbage on column 1 though for Dan makes it hard to extend with the greens. Just needs to use the purple to trigger. Yeah,
There it
very
is.
good that he had the other option, but unfortunately loses a link from that.
A lot of power coming in is going to be enough.
Clear the mind.
It's enough for
Oh,
only a line
no.
though.
Was that
So
it? Huh.
another small 2 chain. Ayla decided to just counter immediately with the 5. Makes
There's the
sense.
full chain.
You regret this. Shh. That all you got?
Yeah, even though Elio lost the first main chain battle, they just had such a resource advantage after that point. Oh, wait, oh, Dan going with
That's
a very
looking
big aggression.
dangerous.
Does Elio
Yeah.
notice it?
Oh man. Yep, he's keeping his trigger
Yeah.
open.
I think Dan, yeah, Dan's backing off from that. Sees Elio's 2 open. Trying to look at how to just extend that chain a bit, but Elio definitely has the main chain advantage right now.
Yeah, huge resource advantage for sure. He can just keep poking the end to really annoy him.
We're gonna see attack, just a 2 chain. Only 1 chain from
Oh,
Dan. Gonna take this
Those
1
purples
line.
are impossible. Gets the purple red though. Perfect piece of set of chain. Does he do it? Goes for it.
Oh, this is so great for Elio. But he gets it.
Paid off.
Alright. Elio definitely wins the main chain with a 10 here. Decent attempt from Dan afterwards, but no, that chain was just too big.
And they're picking up speed now.
Yeah, I really like the adaptation of being a bit faster on main chain and also just being willing to attack a little bit first when Dan is trying to commit on the second row.
Yeah.
Right. Both players still choosing to just focus on main chain. I think Dan's realized that he can't get away with the early attacks. Ayla's being pretty prepared now. 2 double mid game though. Ayla wasn't prepared for that one.
Yeah. Looks like he took too long to get his transition in place, and Dan really saw that he needed to catch up on that, and that's a prime time to attack your opponent for sure.
Right, and on that, we're on set point for Dan. Will we see anything crazy because of that? Nope, just sticking with something nice and clean. Dan's been doing pretty well when the games have been just clean chaining, so not surprised there.
Looks like an attack opportunity from Dan and from Alia though. Oh no.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yikes.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Yeah. They definitely saw the piece they had for their chain, just didn't catch how they were clearing something there. And with that, Dan takes the first set.
He's really riding that high with all those wins that he's been getting. Hey.
Yeah. I think Dan was doing good at seeing when Elio was getting used to the attack timing and adjusting it just a little bit. but can't let that get you down too much. We're going right into the second set.
Here it comes.
First round, still nothing that different. Mostly just clean chaining. I think Elio is trying maybe a little too hard to keep the chain open, especially when Dan's side didn't look like there was any form of attack. Here is a 2-chain, but it's not a big attack.
Yeah, I think Elio is also making the mistake of putting his key Puyo, the yellows, in place too quickly, because now it's really difficult for him to respond to an attack from Dan.
Yeah. Well, no regular attack. We're just getting a main chain from Dan. 6. We got an 8-9 from Dan. Elio has a 9 as well, I believe.
Oh, just an 8 from Dan,
the
actually.
greens.
It looks like the greens didn't link, yeah. Very nice 9.
Regret this.
All right. And this time, Elio's starting with the lead in the set. Going into round 2. I don't see much different. Dan choosing the right side, right to left
That's
this time.
for Elio right now. Their shape is a little unstable. Oh,
Yeah.
looking good now.
Nothing too crazy, though. Are we going to see a 3-chain from Elio? Or are they going to commit to main chain here? There's a 3-chain.
There's a 3, but Dan has so
Yeah.
much to respond.
Yeah, Dan read that chain size so well, having just enough to counter with a rock.
It's crazy. A nice follow-up as well with main chain. That's all you need.
A big thing Dan did well there is making sure not to counter something so big that Elio had a chime to main chain. That only
Yeah.
one link higher means that you've almost no time.
It was really well matched.
Alright, well, they're tied 1-1. Both players sticking with mainly the same thing going into this round.
So many yellows.
Yeah. They're just choosing to clear them out. Don't need to get too crazy with them.
I don't know what Dan's direction. Oh, that's main chain. Ooh.
Yeah. 2-team from Elio, just covering those yellows pretty well, but quickly cleaned up by Dan. Oh, Dan going for the greedy extension. It's gonna be a little
That's
hard with such
risky.
little space and no yellows to clear.
Purple, red, no yellows at all. Unfortunate.
Regret this. That all you got?
Just nice 4 purples to remind Dan of how few yellows there were. One thing to think about is because we saw so many yellows in the beginning, do you think the players could have read a little bit that they wouldn't be getting yellows later on?
It's a bit difficult, isn't it? Because after you clear all of those, your board looks like it returns to a very natural state. So it's very easy to forget what happened earlier in the game because you're so focused on what can I do now, right? He's trying to go for these extensions.
Yeah, that's one of the very difficult ways to min-max your Puyo skill. But going into this round, Dan just going with the 3-chain to block that first initial attack from Elio. Elio not really having a
Really?
response, gets mostly filled up there, and how are they going to clear this? They can't.
Did you enjoy my technique?
This set a lot closer. It's 2-2. Neither player really giving any space here. I think Dan's still doing a little better on the poking front. But Elio's keeping good defenses and has had slightly stronger main chaining
Looks like
skill
he's
this set.
initiating fast.
Oh yeah,
Looking good.
it's a small hit. Good follow-up when Dan doesn't really have a response. Dan keeping that trigger a little clear. Gets.
Perfect
Can they get the
follow-up from
purple?
Elio.
Oh, it won't work anyway. There's a
Oh.
garbage missing. Oh yeah, I'm reading that wrong.
Yikes! Oh man.
Clear the mind.
Good counter
That's
from
enough
Dan.
anyway.
I
Wow.
will admit I was reading that 100% incorrectly.
Technique.
All right, Dan takes a small lead here. Round 6. Both players focusing just on main chain. I don't see any super early attacks here. Will we see
Really
Dan
moving
attack
over
with the
quick.
greens and purples there? Tiny
Ooh, nice
attack.
block.
Yeah, I think Dan's going to attack to clear that out. There's the 2-double.
Elio going for main chain now, I think? No, that's actually only a 3.
That's a very good block. Dan choosing to main chain. That's an 8. I think Elio has the main chain advantage here, except like green's
Ah,
cut.
the greens! That is the worst. Ah, and he doesn't even... Yeah. That is rough.
Yeah.
Did Did you enjoy
One of
my
the
technique?
more common but still unfortunate ways to cut the GTR. And that's one of those difficulties if you're trying to think about how to attack and defend without using parts of your main chain for it. You might, if you need to set off main chain sooner and you have all those extra pieces floating around, sometimes it's just too difficult to stop them from hitting other parts of your chain.
Yeah. Right. Elliot looking for his the main chain.
Yeah.
Dan looking to attack, I think. He's not committing too hard to main chain just yet.
Yeah. Right. 2-chain from Elio. Reasonable poke timing. Good 2-chain follow-up
That
as
was
well.
brilliant. Yeah, all these follow-ups are really well done. Really nice deconstruction.
I really like how, since that was the first attack from Haley, they had the Nuisance Puyo build-up, so they only needed a small attack to cover that row, and then just had the nice small follow-up as well.
Love those soft drop bonuses.
Alright. Still looking like clean chaining. No crazy attacks here unless Dan gets the red.
Dan's keeping that red, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there it is.
Oh, Elio had perfect
Oh.
piece, but he didn't realize in time.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Dan choosing
Dan's
not to
psyching out.
give up on the big Hellfire, just in case that timing came up. Alright. So for a clean chaining here, is Dan going to try and attack with it? No, it just fills it in. Making it a nice clean chain once more. And they're also doing some clean chaining. There's just a one double, single line, nothing too bad. We're going to see a follow-up. Just another one, only a couple more nuisance. Dan just choosing to main chain here, getting a little too filled up on nuisance. Can't blame
And he's
him.
going to need 3 blues here, and he gets a double blue. These the double blues are not helping at all. Yeah, just leaves cuts everywhere.
Yeah. Bit too committed on that blue link there. Even if in solo you could read exactly how to make that work. If you're on a set time limit and you need that much commitment, it's really hard to fill in.
Yeah, the pressure.
All clear?
Here comes it all clear. There it is.
Alright.
Oh, nice. At least clear from both. No crazy
Yeah.
gaming.
I think that works out better for Elio because Dan was building a bit vertical to start in case he needed to
Yeah.
tank, whereas Elio just had main chain links to start.
Oh dear, this is really awkward
Ooh.
for him now.
Yeah. Just choosing to attack to clear, hoping Dan can't respond. But there's the response 5 chain. But Elio has the double 5.
Wow. Looks like it worked out in the end.
Assume we're going to see a follow-up pretty soon here. Just a
Space
small
for
2.
Dan.
Yeah. And even that small attack's almost enough. Dan's still living. We need one more attack from Elio here.
There it
There's
is.
the 4.
Decisive 4 chain.
Regret this. Shh. That all
Yeah, definitely just had such a space advantage. Didn't need to panic. Just play a little patient. Make your opponent commit to a chain first. All right. Clean chains to start from both players. No crazy early attacks just yet. Dan might be
I think
setting up an
Dan
attack with the
looking for
yellow
that.
green.
Exactly right. Oh, Elio.
Oh, but
too,
Elio
with
the first
own.
attack.
Any yellow? Any yellow? No yellows.
Oh, can you flip it?
Oh,
We
that
got
follow-up.
very good choice from Elio, noticing that Dan would take some time to get back to main chain. Just sending off main chain now.
Yeah. No access to transition space makes it really awkward.
Right. Elio's only behind by 1 point. Much closer set than last time. Definitely adapted well here. Alright. Still looking at those clean chains. Maybe attack soon. 3 chain from
Oh my
Elio.
gosh. That's pretty huge.
Dan
Great
just
from
forced
Dan.
a main chain here, taking the 7.
clear the mind.
Oh, wait. Which way does his chain?
What happened? Did you
May have
enjoy
misread
my
his skew a little bit.
technique?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. As it's also a little hard to tail when column 3 and 4 was already so filled up.
Hmm.
Alright. Still clean chaining. Maybe small attack from Dan soon. Maybe small attack from Elio soon. There's just a little poke. There's a 2 from Dan. I might see main chain. There it is. That's a 10 from Elio. I think Dan can beat this as long as there's some clean extending.
Yep, there it is.
That's a 10 double, so I believe same length but more power at the end.
Elio's gonna need a lot to beat this one.
Clear the mine.
Just needed a yellow.
What happened? Did you enjoy my technique?
Yeah. The pressure might be starting to ramp up.
Yeah, Dan's closing in on that win.
Still some fight left. Just gotta keep on chaining, keep on attacking, keep on defending.
Elio with a nice attack opportunity, but I think Dan's also looking for a similar thing.
Yeah. 2 double from there. Ooh.
Ooh, try to
I like.
volley.
Is it locking?
There it is!
Oh.
Block.
Oh,
What
we didn't get the
purple
purple tire.
Wow, looks like the garbage delay was actually what got him the win. That's incredible.
Not a full lockdown, but still enough of a time delay that it actually affected the round. Good job on
That's
Elio
incredible.
there. Can't give up yet. Gotta keep fighting.
Oh, Dan with his classic.
Yeah.
opener.
Oh, there it is.
No reds, no reds, no reds, no
Yeah.
reds.
Yeah. It had been a while. We figured Dan would go for it soon.
Technique?
Yeah, and with a point advantage like that, it's prime time to take those opportunities.
And not only is the score nice, it is match point for Dan. Can Elio get 4 in a row here? This is going to take a lot of concentration, but it is doable.
Dan with a huge attack available. Elio only has main chain now. Oh, nice conversion of the reds.
Yeah, 4 double. Using the GTR cut to their advantage this time. Dan catching it though and just main chaining here has a 7. Oh, how do you feel that?
that's really difficult.
Oh,
Dang,
Yeah.
2 pieces off.
Did you enjoy my technique?
That's it. Dan takes another.
Dan just playing so clean.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I feel like Elio had a very good showing. They had some good chains and some decent attacks. I think the only difference there was the amount that Elio's attacks affected their main chain, whereas Dan's attacks usually still had a clean main chain follow-up.
Yeah, yeah. Dan definitely played more controlled game as well. I think he had a better grip of like the game flow.
Yeah. Well, most of them, and then there was a couple that just had the early aggression. No need to
Yeah.
control. Just get the
Exactly.
attack.
Yeah.
I think it is a valid strategy to change your strategy once in a while. If you know
for
someone's not looking at something and you catch them off once every so often, and then you make them think about it more so that they are dividing their attention in later rounds.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Once you do it once, they're always watching you for the early aggression, but then they play extra safe, and then you get thrown off because they end up making just main chain only builds, and then you're like, oh, what do I do?
Exactly. With that, Dan feeling very comfy with 4 straight set wins in this bracket.
Yeah, hasn't let any set down yet. Oof.
In terms of bracket now, I guess the main thing will be how KZ and Elio's match goes, and then if either of them can upset Void.
Sure, I'll do the ad read. We got that prize pool. Well, also on back. Hi, smile. You know, got some quests you can do. Also, quick shout out to Tom for giving the retweet drop. Appreciate
yeah.
it. I think we.
Whoa,
Hey,
That's
that's the big
incredible.
money.
we love to see it.
Didn't know that account name. I'm sure someone can look it up real quick. I think. Let's see. Yes, right. I think the Feno, Raikon donations thrown in. Thank you again. If you want to do some quests, you can do that. this match arena will be going on for the entirety of playoffs, so you wait for that paycheck to come in. There's always gonna be more time to throw some money into the pile and watch them fight like monkeys for it. For your entertainment. Oh, that's some good stuff. It's some good stuff. Support the players. And then shout out to the partners once again. Play a lot of time. Puyo Community Bio and Perfect Clear Puzzle Wednesday, Galactic, and even PuyoTet World and Puzzle Kingdom. All coming together, and people even who don't really have like an air quote community tag. Just everyone coming together, playing in these events, people running them, people commentating. People donating to individual match arenas too. Just throwing support wherever we could, and everyone could. Blah, 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 Inglando. But everyone appreciates it. I appreciate it. Puzzle Kingdom obviously appreciates it. Appreciates it. The players do. This wouldn't be possible if people didn't come together. And I know other communities have said they want to join it next year as well. So, there's always room for more Advent League in the future. And then, Play Expo Blackpool for Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is a Puyo GB event. The nice part about this is it's first offline, sorry, in quite a long time. I think the last one would have been Revolution, which was like 2019. So it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, 3 years. Crazy.
3 years, oh my god. So top 3 gets prizes. I don't remember if they're doing raffles, but there's Puyo versus Puyo and Puyo Tetris. So they're doing a swap mode tournament. No mixed verses, unfortunately, but they'll be doing 2. So if you still want to play some Puyo versus Puyo, you got that action. Got the October 1st and October 2nd, I believe that is Saturday, Sunday. So, the perfect time to go down. I don't know how much a ticket is, but usually cons aren't, like, super expensive, like, for a ticket if you live nearby. And if you do go, there's gonna be other stuff to do, too. Besides just Puyo, you can hang out, grab a beer if you're old enough. If not, go get some water. Go find some other people to introduce yourself. Be like, hey, I play Puyo, you want to try out this game? Then you beat them and take their money. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! But no, honestly, very excited to see GB go back offline. Hoping you see players like WizKid show up. There's Senpai over there too. Really unfortunate WizKid was not able to compete at all during Advent League. Dude's super good. Probably would have made Advent League, to be honest. He's definitely up there as one of the best Western players. Alright, 32 pounds for the weekend. I don't know how to remember how much that is in USD because I'm just American. 40 bucks. There you go. Thank you, Edge. God bless. Yeah, it's not that bad. Like, surprisingly cheap for a con. Oh my god, I remember spending 100 bucks on some of these tickets. So if you want a cheaper one to go to, just slide in a little 40 right there. Or 32.
Alright, I may as well leave my regards with these guys for now though. Thank you all for having me on. I better sign off for the night since it is 3 AM, but these two are going to keep you fully entertained. I send my regards to the players and to the commentators and for everybody who was organizing this event. You guys are all awesome. Make sure to tune in on the next days as well.
Good night, Sleepy Yoshi.
Good
night.
Oh, whoa. Alright. Thanks for commentating though, Yoshi. Thanks for staying up with us for the Scaly Trio.
Oh, absolutely. More than worth it.
Oh, yeah. I know, hopefully we'll commentate again soon.
Sounds good to me.
Hell yeah. The Dream Team Trio.
I am the tiniest bit envious that you two are looking at each other and we're looking away.
You can swap around, then we're looking at each other.
Hey,
there you go!
No.
Hey, there you go! There you go. Easy clap, easy clap.
We love the production team.
Look in my eyes.
Funny because
They
I'm still
shine
not looking at
like-
you, I'm just looking at the camera.
You bastard. Thank you, Edge.
And with that, I think we're about to get started into our last set with Void versus Elio.
This is gonna be so exciting. Well, not only is it a hometown fight, which is like unfortunate, but this is more a player matchup than it is, I would say, skill matchup, right? Because after a certain point, if you know the player well enough, skill becomes less of a factor, and it becomes how much do you know their habits.
Yeah, exactly. I know these two have played a ton together. I think the other thing I'm interested in, I kind of talked about it in the last set, is Dan was going to set after immediate play and winning. Elio, unfortunately, is going immediately into another match after losing, and hopefully that feeling won't keep them down too much so that they can stay focused in this set instead of worrying too much about the last set.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one because I think for Elio to get out now, they need to 2-0 Void or KZN to hope to force tiebreaker. So this is a pretty important set for Elio because you only get 3 matches, like 3 full matches, you know. So you still like with individual sets, but you definitely need to at least take a set here if you want a chance to make it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I think KZN also needs Elio to win, so KZN probably gonna be cheering for the back. You're like, hey, they'll help a brother out.
All right, here we go.
This is exciting. Void got a lot better at the dismantle game and being extremely aggressive with it too. So I'm very excited to see how he plays.
Going into that first round, I don't see too much crazy. Void might go for a big attack. You're probably just filling that in. Yeah, there it is.
Actually, in the Void Classic, it's been a while since we've seen him build like L shape a bit more consistently. It used to be his go-to in tournament, but lately he's been focused a lot more on GTR.
Yeah. All right, there's a 3-chain attack from Void. Elio might just main chain here. Not much else to do here. There it is. You got a, I believe, a 10.
Oh, that
I think
yellow
it's a 9.
situation. But Void kind of screwed it over his tail with that yellow. He made a color conflict because he needed the yellow so he wouldn't break his tail, but he actually used it for his extension, so he couldn't actually win that round.
All right, first point goes to Elio, just reminding themselves that, hey, they can still take points despite the last set.
Yeah.
Going into next round, still looking just clean from both players.
Yeah, so right back to GTR for Void. You only get one different form. Feels bad, man.
Yeah. Right. Tiny poke from Elio. 2-chain response from Void. Defended nicely by Elio there.
Yeah. So
That
Void got
being
rid of
said-
all of his trash.
Yeah. That being said, looking at the main chain differences, Void still looks very clean. Elio having to kind of fill in little bits here and there. Void choosing to just main chain at this point.
Yeah, a little more risky because I kind of give Elio more time for this because these yellows are going to link. That's going to be bad damage.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, that's still a 12 though.
Yeah. Void seeing that he just had the longer chain.
That,
Elio
did,
not.
that was one less link because of the color and group bonus damage. It still did 9k more damage.
Amazing. Sometimes the number doesn't matter, or at least the chain link number does not matter.
It's not about how big you are, it's how you use it.
Exactly. All clear? No,
Oh.
at least Void can't do
Ah.
it, and I guess Elio couldn't do it either.
I don't think
Just-
Elio even noticed it.
It's okay. All clears are overrated.
I agree. At
Right?
least in the current meta, they don't do anything now. If you're fast enough.
Elio choosing to
Oh.
just main chain here, giving Void that time to extend, though he doesn't choose to extend much. Is that just enough as is? That's a big 8-chain from Elio. That is a
feel like-
power 9 from Void, though. Or power 8 into the 9.
Just enough. Okay, good on Void not extend there so Elio doesn't get time back. Rock. Like, there's not much you can do here besides like pray that Void just gets shrouded every time you do something.
No, unlikely to happen. There's the 4-chain from Void. No space for Elio to respond. Reasonable 3-chain there still, but it's just not enough space.
You know, there was two purple. There was a purple red in Q, and then like another purple red. He probably could have tried to go for the purple 13th and gone power 3. Probably doesn't win him the round, but probably keeps him alive.
Possibly. All right, Void gets that first point on the board.
Oh,
Looking
right.
to switch up. Yeah. Elio is keeping the same standard chaining. Will we see an attack with the greens and blues? No, just a small 1-chain. Defended nicely by Void.
Yeah, I feel like Elio's just trying to do like small pokes to get rid of that comfortness and chain that some players have when like they don't know what to do, like when the one trash play lands on their key or something.
Yeah, for sure. All right, there's a big attack from Void, getting a 3-chain. Elio forced to main chain here. I believe that's an 8.
I don't know if the outchain Void chain is extremely long. So you probably have to build up.
No, it's an 11 from Void.
Ouch.
I don't think there's
Oh.
any way to catch up here.
You know, if that purple was just a little bit closer, would have been that 12 all clear. I'm still saying.
Right, no style points, but that's still a point on the board.
Yeah, back to even. You know, it was a really good start from Elio, but kind of slipping now. They're just
It returns the
Oh,
L
no.
shape, which gives the all clear for chain. Can Alio get a yellow to finish that? There it is. Gets the defend against this, but doesn't have the all clear, so needs to be ready to tank this attack.
yeah. It's always just straight up net advantage. Because there's not a lot you can do here.
Ooh, very good tank into 3 chain from Alio. Gonna at least block the additional follow-up, but Void has such a resource and time advantage here now. Chooses to just use it in the big 3 chain. Makes sense here. Alio doesn't have enough time to respond at all.
Yeah, there's nothing. you can
Gets
really
the style
do.
points. Missed the
God
style last round, so gets double style this round.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You really just want that 5 chain at least, like counteract the all clear damage a little bit, but without it, you're just kind of crying, right? You're just sitting there, like
Getting
you're on a plane, going home.
getting the sandwich chain, or at least partially from Void.
Back to
Elio
the tried and true.
Yeah, and it is focusing on main chain. That's a big commit with the red. Are they gonna have time for that? Oh, I don't think they saw that was only a 3 chain. They had all the reds, but
It's okay.
oh, they needed
Elio-
another purple for the link anyway. They actually are living. They get a 3 chain to clear that back out. Void chooses just to main chain in response here.
This is kind of risky. Just one more purple, and he's out. Oh, there we go. Good extend. Oh wait, that cut. Oh no, it doesn't. It's still 11. But man, I don't know if there's gonna be enough links from Elio.
It's a 10 power. This will be a little close. Gets there, but Void has a very nice 3 double into 4 here. Oh, but
Oh,
the
it-
3 double from Elio. What a battle.
Damn. Okay, you needed that window if you're Elio, because Void has kind of been running over with the efficiency. So, it just frees up so much room for Elio to try to get back the point lead.
Just rushes the 6 chain. Void, yeah, I don't think there's enough there for it.
Yeah, okay. It's not enough time either to go for like the purple extend with blues.
Yeah.
Hate
Alright.
to see it.
Very good job on Elio for not giving up on that round, despite how tough the beginning was.
Oh yeah, I think we're starting to see some of that, like, you know, that player matchup come in, because this is looking a lot closer. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Zanverse Elliot wasn't like a bad set, but this is staying pretty close a lot longer. And we get the return all clear for Elliot.
Oh,
I like that
but
good
Void
response.
gets the 5 chain, so it's going to send at least a counter attack.
Yeah, I think you tank some here, yeah, and then like just
Yeah.
play the rock them back.
Yeah.
Oh, but that might be too much though. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't use it. Oh no.
Style points aren't real points.
True. Feels bad, man. The only points you get for style points is the Twitch clip, and hope people don't look up the context.
Alright, Void getting, I believe, the first lead of the set, or maybe it was a tiny bit earlier, but regardless, both players are very close.
I think it was like a 2-0 for Elio, but it's like the 2 points is not that much of a lead in this
Yeah.
set, it feels like.
Alright, 3 chained by Elio, only defended with a 2 chain, so it takes a bit of damage. Elio rushing this, but yeah, hard for Void to fill in all of that.
Yeah, there's not much he can do, because he has to go on 13th, it's already filled up. 440. This is so close still. Oh, I'm not even a lead for any of these players. These guys kind of cracked.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they play this game a lot.
I could be wrong. I don't think either of these players look that much on like very early attacks, not like the first row Hellfires, so they're letting him build a little more. That being said, Void finds a very nice second row attack.
Yeah, oh, you get the all clear too. Yeah, no, I feel like most of Void and Elio's aggression usually comes from mid game, like you said, because otherwise Elio would try to fight a little bit more early. But if neither are, they're just like handshaking, right? Then you have to keep an eye out.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing
Really,
the sandwich turnaround from Void, Helio sticking with the usual.
yeah, I kind of hope we see some submarine come out from Elio. I really like it, that form.
Free chain attack forcing the main chain out of Void, just didn't have any regular defense. We got an 8. Helios should be able to beat this if they can get the greens. There they are.
Oh, this is gonna be hard for Void. So time for that crunch time. This is tough one.
It's a 9, so Void doesn't need too much of a chain, but there's still the time factor in this. Can you get a purple?
Oh, he does, but it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah. That was some very clean follow-up chaining, but just too much power to catch up to.
Yeah, like you're not gonna make like 13k off like a 5 chain, or it's not enough for it to matter. I do find it interesting, like some players, right? They're in that situation, they kind of just like, let the piece drop, right? And they just take a time to recuperate. Where Void's just kind of like, screw it, we're right back into it, baby. Like he doesn't give himself that wait time.
Yeah. Right, Void getting some small pokes, not really affecting Elio's chain here. There's Elio's first counter attack, but still reasonably blocked.
Yeah, that was really good job.
Very clean mid game from both. Are we going to see any bigger attacks here, or is Elio just going to commit to main chain here? I think there's the commitment.
Oh, but look at those purples. Oh, not the worst. Oh, but Void though. Uh-oh. I don't think that was intended in the script. You need a rewrite.
Alright. Very clean main chain from Elio, taking back the lead.
Yeah, Elio's been responding pretty well to these attacks. I wonder if that dance set warmed him up for this one.
Possibly.
Looking pretty nice right now.
Right. Still focused on the clean chains. Helio definitely looking to get a second row attack here. Is it just going to be a 2, or are they going to extend with the greens? It's just a 2 chain.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. It's going to be really hard to extend off pillars like that on the 3rd floor.
The 3 chain follow-up before Void can fill that in. Ooh, still a little bit of space for Void, but not much.
Oh, but you got the blues for a pretty strong attack. It's a fat 2. Oh, but Elio's ready.
Yeah, it's main chain. Void can't really tail here, just needs to extend on this. Oh, can maybe get another link?
We do begin that link, Scooby-Doo. Oh, actually, I think it's purple too.
It's an 8 power? I don't know if that's enough here, though.
Oh,
it's
no,
not.
Rock's just short. That's so unfortunate, because I had like that extension was so good. Ouch,
All right.
This is 2 points up. This is the biggest thing we've seen the entire set, it feels like.
Yeah, Helio's main chaining is definitely being a bit more solid here and being able to respond a bit better to Void's smaller attacks.
Void's also mixing up his forms a lot too. Like he's trying to force some level of flexibility, maybe to get Elio uncomfortable.
Double. A little bit of poke. Void does have the trigger filled in already, though. It's just going to main chain. Yeah, kind of has to there. We got a 7 from Void. It's only a 7. Elio might be able to extend out of this.
You need some purples. Oh, there they are. Oh, he's going to extend for the blues? Oh, that's greedy. That's so greedy.
That's maybe a little greedy.
That's some dragon level hoarding.
I would agree with that. All right. Still focusing just on main chains for the start of this one. No super early attacks, as is usual in this set. We might see a big 2 chain from Void soon, though. Or we might actually see a 2 double from Elio. Gets a perfect piece for it.
Oh, but the perfect piece in response for Void. Shouldn't be too rough to extend, though.
There's still a 9 chain from Void. That was one of the cleanest main chains we've seen so far this set.
Oh, yeah. Still got, it looks like an 8? Oh, no, it's power 7. Okay, I was wrong.
Reasonable attempt. Reasonable attempt from Elio, but that main chain from Void was just so clean.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too, because like if that piece wasn't blue-green, he probably does cover Void just a little bit, but sometimes God smiles upon Void.
Very, very true. All right, looks like Elio's focusing on the sandwich row one. Gets the pieces to fill it in quickly, at least.
Oh, he does a good attack. Sorry.
Right, Elio gets that first hit, and there goes for the follow-up small 2-chain. Good counter from Void, but doesn't really have a way to access anything. Elio counting with another 3. Going to get a little buried here. Are we seeing another follow-up from Elio?
I think so. Elio just needs to follow up. Void spent way too long building this chain so separately that he has nothing for a trigger, even if he gets down. This is really just fight to survive.
Alright. Very good job on Elio to not let up the pressure at all. I think if Void had a few more seconds at any point, they could have gone back to their chain.
Yeah, there's one of the routes I would love to go back and look at, because like the way Void was building was just not good, because it just had so many color conflicts. It had so much power, but at no point did he ever build like a way to East pop something if you need to respond. Like even now, look at this, he's hesitating a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's just because of how much he's been winning the main chain battle, kind of hoping that he can continue that path, but Elio just being a bit more aggressive to counter the greediness there.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be tough, because like there is no way to get to that blue-red easily, right? You still need blue, you still need yellow.
Oh, you need a purple there, but otherwise that chain worked.
True, that's right, my bad, yeah. But man, this is 1 point away from Elio. Elio needs this win if he wants to stay alive right now in this pool. Be huge dubs. But if you're Void, this could be so bad.
Alright, no crazy changes to try sneaking in that set point. Just still clean chaining from Elio. Reasonable chaining from Void as well. I don't see any big attacks coming. Might see an attack from Elio very soon though with all of those. There's the 3 chain. Void doesn't really have much response, just a 2, but still going to take a line.
That's not too bad. He still needs a chain accessible. He's going to have reds if he really wants to go. Oh, he's going to try not to. He does not want to get caught off guard again.
Oh, fails to not get the double.
Oh, he's thinking about it. You greedy. Okay,
yeah. There's the main chain from Void. We got an 11. Elio also just main chains right away. I don't actually think this is long enough.
Yeah, he just didn't have enough space at the top. So he had to go.
Oh, there is some power,
It's gonna
though?
be time. It's gonna
he actually has it. Alright.
Oh, and Elio's gonna take set 1. This is very impressive. After that rough situation with Dan, to put himself up 1, Void has to win 2 in a row now.
Very good job by Elio to not panic on the main chain from Void. I thought it was maybe a little rush, but they just had such an advantage from all the early attacks in Void trying to clean out that area and just forcing all those little inefficiencies.
Yeah, that was insane. I don't know what happened. It felt like Void was playing so cleanly, right? Those first like 12 rounds, you're like, damn, this is so neck and neck. And it just, for some reason, Void's build just fell apart. I don't know what the thought process happened there. Something broke. I wonder if so he's not gonna just go back to like just pure GTR. He's gonna keep going with whatever he feels in the moment, which is a little spooky. I'm not gonna lie, but he's got good reversible.
Yeah. Oh, was that big attack from Elio?
Oh, it is. That's so fat. But Void's ready. That might be too much resource. There's not gonna be a lot of time to extend here.
They're definitely trying though. They have a reasonable chain.
Not bad.
I don't know if it's enough, but it's still very clean regardless.
Okay. Oh, it's not gonna be. That was pretty sick though. That was still like pretty strong. There's not 10 chain strong.
Yeah. Good attempt on the follow-up, but yeah, that one attack was just a little too big and Void was ready for it that time.
Oh yeah. Hey, good round start for Void at least. You know, get some momentum back in your favor.
Alright, 8th piece, they finally diverted a little bit.
You know, it's that player matchup, right? They just know each other so well. Like, I'm gonna just copy you.
Exactly. Oh, Void just rushed. That's a
he's going for the all
surprise.
clear. This is a Void. I want the all clear. So, this could be good.
It's fine. The all clear doesn't even matter here. The amount of power Void had on that chain, Elio just wasn't ready to counter the main chain.
I think the name of the play is do mid-game stuff a little bit more early instead of later mid-game. Because, well, I think one of the... we'll go with, like, potential weaknesses for Elio. As a player has always been, like, his tails are a little sloppy. So if you can get some trash, or like force him to fight earlier, or like pop early when he can't fix his tails, you probably can try and grab some sort of advantage. But you have to be quick on the fingers and on the trigger. Oh god, that could be bad.
Yeah. A lot of these
Oh,
attacks have been so
God.
fast, so it's a bit hard to respond.
Yeah, but he got that full chain, so Elio's gonna have a lot of time to extend, but he's gotta make it good. Oh, you see, that's what I mean. Look at the
blue
early
cut.
cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this is
don't-
a-
I don't know if that chain would have won regardless. I think Alio would have had to look to extend a little bit, but yeah, with that cut, it ends up not mattering, unfortunately. Void definitely adapting well, taking a 3-0 lead. I think that is actually the biggest lead we've seen so far now.
It is the biggest lead because the last set ended on a 3-0 lead, so this could potentially skyrocket even more. Yeah, this is a good, like, just a quick adaptation from Void. Oh, Hellfire, if he wants it.
Well, there's
like
the
a-
main chain from Alio. I think Alio saw the commitment to this big attack.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Void's
manages
like-
to clear it though. But I
It's
don't
still
know
a
if it's enough.
9. I don't think it is. It's only gonna be an 8. Or, yeah, an 8. Ooh, good catch from Elio. That's some good observational skills.
My dignity. That all you
That's the power of reading your opponent's board.
Yeah, he read it like a book, honestly. I just took... It was kind of weird, like, Void had the Hellfire. He could have set it off earlier, he just chose not to. Elio just like, okay then. Sure.
Well, with first point on the board, I'm sure Alio's feeling a tiny bit better now.
Yeah. The good news for Elio is that he used to have set lead. Oh, there's no reds! How do you get out?
That was another big board read by Alio. Like, they destroyed their chain for that attack, but they saw that Void would have really struggled to set off there.
Yeah. Void is just randomly building, like, very unsafe triggers. Granted, part of it is the Q, but the other part is, like, he doesn't fill it in before it gets to that bad point, right? I guess it's, like, lack of a better term.
Yeah, sometimes you just go with the commitments, knowing how you'd fill them in, but not knowing exactly how much time it would take to fill them in. Right, 2 chain from Alio. Void doesn't have a clean response, only taking a line in a bit though.
Not too bad. You did a good job of waiting, at least.
2 chain follow up. Void has, I think,
Oh, wait.
main chain here.
Oh, it is main chain. Damn.
It's a 10 power. Oh, a little less power. It cut harder than I thought it did. Still a 9 chain though.
Elio? Wait,
didn't
what?
They didn't have the piece to set off the trigger properly.
Our lesson is now
Okay, that
concluded.
makes sense. Okay, still, they looks like 3 points is the biggest they were getting so far, but still nice stuff from Void, taking the set lead back. He cannot afford to drop this if he wants to securely outplay Stan for that playoff spot, because Dan, you know, on that 2-point lead. Or 2 set lead, excuse me.
All right, there's a 3 chain from Elio. Void responds. Only the ones, with taking 2 lines here. Good follow up from Elio. Sending another few. Oh, this might be a bit over aggressive though. Oh, but gets the main chain immediately. This should be good.
Yeah, that was such a good follow-up. And then the trash landing in the perfect spot so his purples would conflict if he tried to use them. So good. So nice.
Good follow ups on those aggression.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel nervous. 'Cause I'm like, this set could be so telling for the rest of the pool. If you're Dan, you're like, oh, hell yeah, Elio, let's go, you know? But if you're Void, you know, you're fighting for your life
Oh,
right now.
It's a big 1 chain. Only 1 line, but still disruption. Follow up 2. Does Void get the piece to set that off? It does. That's a 5 counter.
Yeah, I don't know if Elio had enough time. Oh, the purples are... Wait, he's extending for it. Oh, he didn't see the cut.
Our lesson is now concluded.
I think it was less not seeing the chain length and more the purples were going to cut. I think it was only a 4 double at that point, and Elio was just worried it wouldn't even counter at that point.
That's fair. I guess it's one of those hard positions. Like, do you set it off or not, right? Because you don't want to like set off something and like barely trade back and then like feel bad about it.
Yeah, reading power of your opponents and your own chain at the same time could be very difficult. But this next set, Elio just forced to main chain immediately. Since we got, I think, only a 7 here. Can Void just set off main chain? Or no, there's a lot
He's
of
a
commitments
red.
here.
So that's
He needs the red so bad, but there's so many purples.
No, there was a lot of commitments there. I don't think the
Yeah.
blues actually worked.
I'm pretty sure they did because they go red, blue, down to purple again.
Well, regardless, they couldn't get enough pieces to fill in the triggers, so...
Fair. Very
Right,
fair.
well-
Oh, we're back to GTR.
Only a 1-point lead yet again. Just no space for either player.
This is terrifying. Oh. Okay.
Tiny, tiny one-chain poke. Good two-chain follow-up. Void not having enough to really counter here. Slowly getting filled in. There's the big commitment from it.
There's no blue though, but I think it's gonna be enough of the power.
Yeah, enough to counter, and now Void just has a huge resource advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if he just main chain, though, choosing to extend even farther. Might as well keep up your lead.
Yeah. I just got looks like a potentially solid dig. I don't know if those yellows are gonna reach though.
Ooh. No, they don't. Unless there's... No, there's not two
They're
reds.
the
there.
reds.
The other yellows work, but not the ones on column 1.
Yeah, actually, if I read in that column 4, maybe you would have sent back even more because of 2 more links. Unfortunate. This is the best match of the day.
Void is very good at just having just enough space to finally counter the one big attack from Elio there. Alright. Oh, this is a lot of interesting sandwich commitment on Void's side. Looking how to fill it in. It's going to be a bit rough. Just 3-chain from Elio, which gives Void time to clean this with the 4-chain.
Wait! Oh no!
That's a
could be
barely
dangerous.
counter. Oh, there's a quick 2-double. Elio gets a piece to fill it in, though. Gets the 6? 5? No, 6.
Oh, that's such a huge commitment from Void's side. It's gonna be catastrophic for him.
Yeah. When you're facing a 6-chain with almost no resources, you kind of have to go for a commitment and just hope.
I almost feel like you could try and buy some more time, at least build a chain, see if they'll send something to you first. Because he didn't have that much space to end up. Because at least then it's like Elio goes for full chain, you could try and extend.
Yeah, possibly. Are we going to see a big tie from Halo? There's the 1-chain poke just to scare Void. But Void chooses just a main chain, which I think is smart here, seeing the Hellfire on Elio's side. Going to see a 7 with 6 power.
Yeah, he noped out that situation so quick.
Yeah.
Oh, the purples! Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah. I think it was missing the yellow on top anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah. But hey,
Just-
for Void, you want to keep this 2-point lead, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
one of
sorry.
the troubles of building an attack on top of the turnaround, is that if your opponent decides to fire off a big chain at that point, how are you going to make sure you don't break your turnaround?
Yeah. I think for most people, the solution is just keep the turnaround in there and just like sacrifice the power of your chain. But off you lose so much efficiency on that.
Alright, the 2-double from Elo just gets countered by main chain immediately. Lots of time to extend though. 7 from Void, meeting a 7 power from Elio.
Is there gonna be enough time? There's no greens.
No. Alright, very good job, Elio, to, even though they initiated, still building up just enough of a main chain to counter Void's response.
Yeah, good stuff, Melio. Of course, out that Michin road was huge.
Still only a 1-point difference. Going into this round, both players just still playing clean. Again, we haven't seen any super early aggression, usually waiting for that second row to start getting some attacks, and I think Elio's going to go first. Just a 1-double. Countered by... Wait, that's just main chain from Void.
Boys can see his main chains like crazy. But oh, Elio! Clearly?
Yeah, that's a 9 from Void. I don't know if Elio can catch up at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they meant to do that clear, right? Because Void had already committed the full chain.
They might have just read it as another attack and not seen the full chain connection. A little hard to say, but in the end, that wasn't the best response, and Void gets that point.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough now because they kind of. I want to say free round. It's more like Void can just get like 2 more rounds, and then you're suddenly on like a set point.
Ooh.
Run it back. Oh, yo, he's alive.
Yeah, Void had a few options for setting off main chain there, so good response there. Gets the 8-chain. Good extensions from Elio. A little greedy, but gets it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this will trade back, so it's gonna be up to Void to see if he can extend enough.
Yeah, it's a 9 from Elio. It's gonna be a little hard to beat this. It's a lot of power.
Oh yeah. The Void just couldn't extend off his right side too, so he had to opt in for powers.
So that's your strategy. So that's your
This is so close. 8-7, 2 points needed for Void to have a chance to win the entire set. If Elio 2-0s this, he puts him in a spot where he can potentially try to tiebreaker Dan out of the pool.
Yeah. I think Elio's been doing a very good job of not overcommitting on the main chain, getting just enough attacks to force Void's main chain first.
Yeah. I agree.
Right.
It's so scary. Wait, does that tail work? What's on the... It does, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure. These the yellows, they're not coming! How do you get down? I'm so scared right now.
Oh, very good attacks from Elio. This pressure is making me so happy right now.
It's so impressive. Wait, I think he's down! Oh, he's not touch time! Oh, no! Oh my god, dude, it's evened up!
Yeah.
Dude.
Got a little dicey at the end, but Elio didn't give up on the aggression.
Elio is adapting so well to what Void's doing. And Void just can't find a consistent answer. You have to keep changing it up.
Yeah. I really appreciate that not only is Elio being aggressive, but also making sure there's a follow-up to when the first attack hits, as opposed to just doing one attack and then letting your opponent immediately clean up.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
what a
reds are
good
still there.
two-chain. Yeah,
Oh, this
Void
is so
managing
scary.
to clean up a bit with the two-chain. Elio not having a response this time, but... Oh. Oh.
Yeah, okay, Void's down. He's a little bit safe. It was looking really sketchy there for a moment.
It's such a hard board for both players.
Yeah.
Oh,
gonna get
there's a big 3.
Oh, Ellie's
Yeah,
already. Oh, double purple's right there.
Our lesson is now concluded.
Just a tiny bit too slow. That was a very rough spot for both players, and Void manages to barely take that one.
I'm getting so excited. This is so close to going to set 3. Void just needs 1 point. Elio could potentially clutch it out though if he can get just 2 rounds together. Oh god, dude, I'm actually shaking right now. I feel the
2 double
adrenaline.
from Elio. There it is.
Got response.
Good 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very clever. Much.
All right. Are we going to see another 2 double from Elio, or is this actually a 3 chain? Void choosing the main chain in response.
He actually pops his blues. He lost his tail. Oh my god, we're gonna see another set.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh my god. Holy shit. The Void clutching it out. We're gonna go to set 3. So, at least for both players, no matter what happens, they'll have 1 extra point on the board compared to KZN at the moment. But this one matters for all the marbles. Elio needs this if he wants to take a chance for a tiebreaker, and Void needs this if he wants to fight to just get out of the pool without having to worry about one.
This is a very intense match for both players. Hopefully they're not feeling the pressure too much. Very
We'll
early
see.
attack from Elio. I think that's one of the earliest attacks we've seen so far. And Void in a very good spot to tank that, so it doesn't matter.
He needs some blues. They're coming. Oh yeah, they do be there. Needs the oh that easy purple or yellow extension with the purple.
Yeah, Void read the Q very well there. We got an 11 from Void, I believe. Elio has some time to extend, but I don't know. Oh, how they extend there, though.
They messed up. They wanted to. I think they
Wait,
wanted to pop.
Can they get the yellow there?
Oh, they
Yeah,
can.
they're good.
Oh my god, I almost had a heart attack. Raikon. I'm terrified.
I think that's only a 10, though. Their tail, unless I'm reading it wrong, I don't think the tail works there.
Oh, it. Oh, it took 2 rows,
Yeah.
but it's already ready.
Yeah, Void has such a resource advantage.
He built some marine though, and that makes me happy. Thank you, Elio. That was.
All right, first point of the last set goes to Void.
Oh yeah. Ooh, my god, dude. This is sorry, go for it.
I appreciate Elio going for a much earlier attack than usual there, but Void was actually, for this time, ready for such an early attack with the way they built vertically.
Yeah, I think Elio's starting to catch on that Void's just gonna start waiting. And he's
Well,
trying
not this
to...
time.
Oh yeah. Still good response though. Tail's still gonna work too. Yeah. I think Elliot's trying to catch on to the game plan here. He's trying to force Void to have to play differently.
Yeah, right, just a little pokes now. We're going to see a 3-chain from Void. We see full chain from Elio.
I don't know how you extend here, though. It's a little hard.
It's a 10 double, and Void, yeah, it's going to be tough. No real way to tail here.
Okay, gets the blue-purple he needs. I'm not sure if this will be enough, because that, like, 48k is not enough to sneeze at.
I think this is a 10 double, actually. Or 9 double into 10. It's... It matches.
Oh, that's so rough.
Very good on Elio to build the follow-up chain there.
Yeah, keeping it close. I don't think we're going to see any breakouts from the set point. Like, big lead still.
Yeah, easily anyone's game here.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see Void go back to L-shape so much, because it wasn't something he was building a lot of in the regular season. So I'm curious, like, I wonder if something that happened in practice that, like, made him be like, yeah, you know what? We just gotta go back to tried and true. Oh, he's alive.
That was a huge 2 doubles. Is this even countered enough? Oh,
Nope.
Perfect counter.
Well, that's a little unfortunate. He probably wanted at least a little bit of trash there. But, oh, big Hellfire back.
Yeah, Elio sees it, though. Gets the main chain response.
He's got the fix. Where's the yellows for this fix? Oh, no. That split. Oh, that's real unfortunate.
Gosh, both players are watching each other quite well here. It's very nerve-wracking to see if any attacks are actually going to fully get through.
Oh, yeah. It just feels like they're not. Because they've at least been responding to them all the time. It almost feels like the second attack is the more important one. Whoever gets, like, the faster follow-up.
Oh, big attack from Elio. 2 double into 3. Void forced to main chain here.
Oh, he has a lot of pillars on his tail, so there's not going to be a lot of end damage.
Yeah. There's a 10 double from Void. Elio gets the extension. Is that going to be enough?
No, he broke his chain with that
Oh.
yellow right there. So it's going
That's
to
so
cut.
unfortunate. That's so unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, you hate to see it, because the extension was looking so good until that color conflict happened.
Alright, tied back up. Players matching each other close to perfectly there. Just looking for the clean main chains.
Oh, yeah. Void's tail's looking really nice. Same for the Elio's. The Elio's got a lot of power on the table. It's going to reverse it into an attack. Oh,
Great
the Void's
chain.
ready.
Yeah, forcing out the main chain though. Elio might be able to extend well enough on this. It's only 8 triple, I believe. Oh, power's on the 7.
Gets the double extend on the blue, so gonna be really fat. Already at a 6 chain, we still have a lot of tail to go.
I think it's only a 10. I don't think the tail actually works.
Oh,
But
10, but wasn't
if
ready.
anything, that might have been good because it gave Void less time to get to the main chain. At least this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, he still needed a green to make his tail link. So I think he only had like a 4 available. Unfortunate. Elio's gonna keep the set lead.
Right, going next round. Still looking kind of clean. No big attacks just yet. But it looks like both players are setting up for one. There's the 3 from Void. And the main chain response from Elio, just seeing that resource commitment.
Yeah, I think Void scared himself there, because he put 1 purple in his palm 1, which super covered his extension. But then he just committed to something that broke his trigger area even more. And I'm like, Elio wasn't forcing you. You should have just. I felt like there should have just been a bank to get some more purples.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a misdrop or just a interesting commitment.
The commitment, because like, see right here, like now the trigger's safe. It's not like there's an awkward 3 column to work with. But it's just hard because you never know what like some of these players are thinking sometimes when they do it.
Yeah. Right, Void lands the first attack for 2 lines. Elio doing a 2 chain to attack and clean up some space.
Got the double reds they needed, but they're too late. But it's gonna get defense. Love to see it.
Yeah. Void has some reasonable responses here. There's a 3 chain from Elio. Void actually doesn't have it now. Just has a 2 chain, which will block most of it.
Void had the option to do full chain there, but did not opt for it. I'm kind of curious to why. Because Elio's just been dismantling every time they attack.
Oh,
Looks
no
like-
space for Void to rotate out.
I kind of feel like not going for full is a little greedy there because he had the option to.
I think
just-
the fear that because Aelio's been winning a lot of the main chain battles recently. Void's been setting off first, and Aelio, unless there's been like a bad commitment, has been actually winning those battles. So Void might have just been nervous about that same situation happening.
That makes sense. Okay, Void gonna have to clear out those purples or use it for an attack. He doesn't want to send off full.
And they're going to go for a 2-double probably. Maybe do a triple. It's only another 3. Yeah, very good choice by Aelio there. Good counter, 2 lines. That's going to almost kill there. Doesn't land it in 3.
There's not enough space for Void to extend, so he's forced to cut his chain all over.
Aelio doesn't have the blues though. There's no way to rotate up
Oh.
there. Oh no, gets a connection with column 3. Very good read.
This is about to be the biggest set lead we've seen the entire matchup. 4 points. Elio is coming alive after that dance set.
Yeah, and again, we see it yet again where Void was forced to main chain first, and Aelio just had such a good chance to extend and beat out that chain. It was a little dicey. That blue commitment was scary, but still managed to get it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It feels kind of hard because I'm not sure what's it called? Void can do other than the classic just just don't lose.
Yeah. Here it is again. Void main chaining has a 7. It's gonna be a little hard for Aelio to extend this, but still manages to at least set off main chain. It's also a 7. A little hard to tell who's winning this one. I think Aelio by barely.
Watch the rock. But we're gonna have the response. It should send back at least a little bit. Okay, 2 rows not bad.
Oh, what a back and forth.
Oh, Void's gonna go right in for another attack. It's gonna be another fat 4.
Very, very good follow-up from Void. Now that things finally settle a bit, seeing that resource advantage.
Yeah. Void needs this too. It has been looking grim the last 4 rounds. You gotta get on the board.
Lesson is now concluded.
It's finding the last big attack.
I'm actually so nervous right now. I'm not even playing.
Right. Just nice, calm early game, filling in that first row, getting some decent tails. This is where you usually see the aggression from Aelio. There's a 3 chain, main chain from Void.
He's gonna sacrifice his tail too to do it, to shorten his chain. I don't know if that's the best play, but it's looking good for Elio.
Yeah, very good extensions
He's
with the
topping
blue
out.
purple. Yeah.
Oh no. That's not good.
That all you got?
This is rough. You never like to see them when they just top out off the top, because they know they're dead. They don't try to win the round. Or
Yeah.
it's rough right now for Void, which is nothing I thought I would say today. Given his dominant record throughout the season, winning 60% of the tournaments in first place. So this is a crazy change.
Well, as you mentioned, both these players play each other a lot, and it looks like at least this set, Aelio's been adapting very well in this specific set.
Oh yeah.
Like that, we are at a 5-point lead for Aelio.
This is rough, man. I feel like the pressure is getting to Void a little bit. Because he's just not playing nearly as clean. We need you gotta slap yourself across the face and calm yourself down. Because there's still time, right? These their first attempts are not the longest sets ever. They are still doable.
Yeah, it's definitely not impossible, but as you said, gotta play nice and clean from here on out.
Yeah, you need to start cracking out some fat dubs.
Yeah. I think Aelio's just looking for the big main chain at this point, getting those nice clean extensions. Just a small 2 chain, not committing any other part of the chain there. Another 2 chain, just these small pokes that Void doesn't have much space to really counter.
Oh, he's gonna get the full chain. There you go.
Yeah,
Big
but Aelio's
full.
been winning a lot of these battles.
Yeah, but at least he gets a chance to set it off compared to the last couple rounds where he just
That's
died
true.
having it.
This it's 11 from Void.
It just
That's
Ooh,
also an 11 from wait, no,
the
the
red.
Reds.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But if you're Void, you love to see it right now.
Yeah. It was I think 11 if the cut wasn't there, which would have made it really close. But yeah, the unfortunate cut does give Void that point.
We're just like in such unfamiliar territory. Players kind of felt like, you know, Elia's talent was the weakness, but it's been so clean this set. And when you feel like your game plan is suddenly, you have to like suddenly change your game plan on the fly, it can be really hard to come back.
Oh,
That's a
big
bad-
2-double from Elio. And no greens for Void.
Oh,
Has
but wait,
to take.
look all the reds. You can get down. He's almost there.
Will he
He
get
does.
chances
He does!
Oh, we got. Oh.
That's so fortunate because that doesn't put him on match point, which means he has 2 more rounds to work with still. Because there's no way Elio can make up the damage. That's
If
so
there
unfortunate.
was, if there was a moment of hesitation from Void, they would not have gone back to their main chain.
Oh yeah, like that is a fucking sigh of relief right now. It's really, like you said, if that hesitation happened, match point.
Yeah, well, only the tiniest bit of relief still has 3 points to catch up on going into this next round.
Oh yeah.
I think Voids looks like they might get attacked pretty soon, but Elio still ties first with a 3 chain, but nice 3-double from Void.
Will it be follow up? He is gonna follow
Yeah.
up. This could be really hard to get out of. Those purples are not easily accessible, and they're not even coming. Oh no.
That was a
That's a-
very clean way for Void to cut the transition while still keeping it open. Didn't cover it with any extra Puyo so that they could fire the rest of their chain immediately after.
Oh yeah, that was so nice. I was a little bit afraid when you just committed, because you never know, right? That you could be nice, but Void knew what he had to do, because it's been too close a set to not take any risks.
Oh, that...
All the way, it's fine. You can put green up there. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm nervous
Other-
of Elio's transition here. Just goes for the 2-double into 3. Probably see main chain from Void. There it is.
Okay, he fixed the tail too, so you got the reds, you got the purples, you got the blues, so it's gonna be a fat ender. Oh my god, I can't believe this happening. Look at that.
It's a
That's a
9?
good number.
Oh, good extending from Elio and manages to avoid the green cut on the transition. We got a 10 from Elio.
Oh yeah. That might be enough.
Right.
That was power 9. We'll have to see.
No reds for Void.
Oh, you hate to see it. That's not fair, man. It's gonna be match point. It's all or nothing now for Void. He's got to string together 4 rounds if he wants to take it home.
Yeah. Once again, we're seeing that nice score, but even nicer for Elio on match point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is scary. Gonna bank it on the L shape, playing it pretty safe this time compared to some of the last rounds.
This is very interesting on Elio's side. This turns to just get an attack. Void sees how committed that was, says, no, I'm just firing main chain. Give me that free point.
Yeah, let's go. You take those. Dude, only 3 points is left. You can't, no chokes right now. Like, you gotta close it out.
Even though Elio's a match point, like, that's probably the most pressure. You can't, it's like, you just need the one more. And every mistake makes you feel like you're slowly losing your chance. So, you gotta stay calm.
Yeah, the misdrop on Void's side, making him go for a very weird form. He's just gonna all in on it. The purples are right there. You can't make it in time though. He's covered. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I cannot believe that worked.
There's a 3-double to seal it out.
That's 8-9.
Sometimes you just have misdrops into miracles.
Yeah, because Elio, because Void had never Hellfire early the entire set and just randomly got it, so Elio's gotta be a little bit afraid now.
Yeah, definitely that big style change, even if it wasn't intentional, can really throw someone off. But looks like we're going back to the same clean play, even though Void got that 1 point, not assuming that they can get away with it again.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a commitment on this extend. He's actually gonna defend himself.
Yeah. Good 3-chain. Elio 4-chain response. I'm unsure if I like the cut. It was a good way to not commit too hard to this and give Void time to extend, but now they need to fill this in.
There's not gonna be enough time. The reds aren't gonna link because the blues or the reds are blocking the blues. And we're on match point. Fucking Void just stringing together quick 3 rounds. Oh my god. It's just that I don't want to call it a choke, but I can't call it a comeback yet. There's only 1 round left on the board.
The pressure is on for both players. They got to build the cleanest chains here. Both sides looking decent so far.
I kind of favoring Voids right now. It's very nicely put together. He has a quick attack if he wants it. Elio trying to poke him out. Void,
Right.
oh boy, get the extension.
I think they're just looking for main chain at this point because their chain's cleaner. It fills up a tiny bit, but not enough to really block it.
Not gonna commit. He just needs a yellow, and he's good. Oh, Void, he's gonna go. Oh, he's going.
That's only a 3... Or no, that's fine.
Yeah, this is it. It's all or nothing. Elio's got to clutch out something right now. He's got to find the blues. He's got one. He's going for yellows. He has to spend it. There's one blue. He's gonna extend off of it. There's not a time. There's no. There it is, actually. Holy shit!
Oh,
He put it in the wrong spot.
oh my god.
No way, boy. He's gonna clutch that out from the fucking jaws of defeat to 10-9 Elio in a crazy set. I cannot believe it. Holy shit.
That was too intense.
That was the. I gotta feel for Elio though. He could have been, 2-1. Elio, that was all Elio's momentum, but Void just clutched it out. Elio couldn't find the finishing blow. Ah, dude, no. Poor Elio, but congrats to Void too. What a way to end the day.
That was extremely impressive play on both sides, though, regardless of the end result. I had no clue who was going to win at any point.
Dave, that was such a crazy set. What a crazy situation. Like, especially for Elliot, that was such a huge turnaround after the Dan, 0-2. To, push Void to the brink. But if you're Void, you're probably, you're wiping off the sweat. Because if Void had lost that, he would need to force a tiebreaker against Dan for a 3-way. But I think, even though he's down points because of the one set loss, as long as he beats Dan, it should not matter his round point difference, as long as he has a head-to-head.
Yeah. Still reeling a little bit from that set.
Same. I'm actually shaking right now. I was not expecting that. Oh my god, what a good set. I'm glad we got the banger one.
Yeah. Sucks to be Yoshi.
Yeah, right. Should have gone to bed. Should have stayed up for the TriCast.
Yeah. What do you mean you need to go to bed before 5 a.m.?
Yeah, I know, right? Also, shout out to chat. Spam that go to Brazil pasta. You know it. I'm gonna spam some too. Oh
Yeah.
god, dude. Tomorrow's gonna be a day. Sorry, go for it. Go for it. You can go first.
I feel like both players were pretty equal in both areas. They both showed good attacks, they both showed good responses, they both showed good main chains. They both showed a few questionable decisions that might have punished them on some points, but not too many. I think the tiny bit was just Void's main chaining was slightly more consistent, and also ability to tank a little better. Usually when Void landed hits on Elio, there was no real way for them to follow up, whereas Void sometimes had ways to still get to main chain even after taking the first couple attacks.
I agree. I think it kind of goes back to Void making a bit more L shapes, where I felt like Elio did, but sometimes you just have awkward pillars, right? That would cut his chain.
Yeah, it's a hard balance juggling, attacking, and main chaining, and looking at the opponent's board to defend. It's a ton for anyone to think about. I'm sure both players were overwhelmed with each other's skill.
Oh yeah, I think that was just a telling set for the rest of the pool, because I think that was Void the most likely to lose just because of the player matchup, or the person who had the best chance of beating Void. So one of the hardest matches for Void out of the way. I forget if we have pool 2 again tomorrow. I assume so. Production. Okay, so we get the remaining matches. It's gonna be a big day for KZN, because I think he would need to 2-0 his remaining matches, which are Elio, which is looking incredibly scary, and Void. He's got to play both the Brazilian players. It's gonna be a tough one.
Hopefully, despite that, the points that they need, that they can push themselves to show their best Puyo at that time.
I believe in KZN. He's incredibly good. He's been good throughout the entire season. And I don't know if it'll be the ending set or not, but then Void, DDR, Dan, potentially to get out of pools. Or I guess playoffs into that grand finals. That's going to be a crazy set. Kind of a classic too, right? Everyone's so used to it. All right, we got the Matrino once again, and if you have to donate after that last set, insane. You know these players are insane. They deserve some love. Zyflare with a huge contribution of 420, 24. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. That brings the total prize pool up to 800. 800. I think because everyone gets a cut too. Like, there's what's it like 3rd through 8th gets like I think 5%. But if you're in grand finals, you get 30 or 40 of that 800. That's a lot of money. So if you want some fat stacks, you gotta play your heart out. And if you want to contribute, there's quests you can do a Matrina. You can donate directly if you want to. Every penny helps. Oh my god. And this is I think the biggest prize pool we have seen in Puyo ever, actually. I don't think we've ever had a prize pool break over 500. Or like use this high over 500. Damn, like to give you an idea of how much money this is, WPL SoulCal, it's like PPT2 event, had a $1,000 prize pool, roughly. Like, this prize pool is only $200 behind one of the biggest offline like Tetris Puyo events for PPT2. Like, that is an insane amount of moolah.
Hopefully the dollar signs in everyone's eyes doesn't make them too nervous going into their future matches.
And you know what? That's actually a really good point, because like no player has really played for like not only like pride, but the large amount of money on the line. I can't imagine how that'll affect some people, but I think most people care about that prize of being the #1 player. I guess you weren't around for this initial conversation, but do you know part of the reason why Avonlea kind of came back?
I do not.
So a big part of it was no one really felt like the current Western rankings was like the number, like how to tell the #1, because Western scene uses a lot of double limb brackets, and while the Western rankings are alright, they use only like round robin, right? So people want like a more definitive way to be like, this is the #1 player, and the best way to do that is people want a league. So people are super gunning for that #1 spot, especially like if you're obviously in playoffs, you really want it. And on top of like the prize pool money now, I'm like, oh my god, that's gotta be so much pressure that they were already putting on themselves to compete. So exciting, so exciting.
Absolutely. And I am glad that the people that are playing their heart out are getting at least somewhat rewarded for that.
Yeah, because it's been a long time since Avonlea has been back. Because Avonlea wasn't even around when I started playing Puyo. That was how long ago it used to run before it concluded for a little bit. And now it's back, and like, how sick would it be to be the first person to win an Avonlea playoff title, right? Like, you only get to be first once, but you also get to only be first once for the first Avonlea.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, I'm so excited for tomorrow. I can't wait to see who gets out of pool. And then I think it's next week. You have Yoshi's pool playing with Yoshi with Deck, Billy, and OSW. That will also be extremely exciting. Man, I wish Yoshi was here so you could see that fat pot monstering.
Fine, we can taunt him about how he missed it later.
Oh yeah, well, 100% with using Yoshi. It happens every day. You can't escape. But man, I think, let's see. I guess we'll start talking about tomorrow while we close the show, right? But yeah, I think S2 and Oz will be joining the commentary squad, I believe. So if everyone loves S2, he's great. And Oz, like, Oz is Oz. The two are amazing. So I'm sure y'all will have fun with the commentary team tomorrow. I'm gonna shout out Matrino once again. Exclamation point Matrino if you want to donate anyway. Greatly appreciated. Shout outs again to the communities. Latom, Puyo, Puzzle Wednesday, Perfect Clear Galactic. I'm missing one. I don't remember. It's okay, but not really. I don't know. Oh my god, I feel bad now. But so Galactic, Puzzle Wednesday. Oh, good times.